Hello there and welcome into this free course in which I'm going to show you how you can create a movie blog. So if you're a movie holic, you can create a movie blog with the theme that we're going to be using. And the good news is that I'm not only going to be showing you how to create a blog like this one, I'm also going to be showing you how to create a SEO optimized article without having any SEO skills. So just imagine this, let it sink for a moment. So many people out there think that SEO is great, which is, in other words, it's actually a good information, right? It's the truth. If you know SEO, then you can actually make a lot of money online. But what about the people that don't know how to write SEO optimized content? And so this is also one of the main things about this course is that you will learn how to write an SEO optimized article using Chatgpt. Now, these particular blogs are extremely great, not only because of the ease of content, because there's a lot of content in there, but at the same time, you would find that these are really profitable because people are really interested in movies, they're interested in series, and you could make money not only from advertisement, Google AdSense, you can also make money from affiliate programs. And here, let me just show you some affiliate programs that you can actually join as a movie blogger. So for instance, over here, we have 10 best movie affiliate programs according to Authority Hacker. Now, you have Amazon Prime Video, Hulu, CBS All Access, Dish Network, Sling. Now, so many of you might be thinking, what about Netflix? Can't we promote Netflix? Can we be Netflix affiliates? And the answer to that question is no. You can't be Netflix affiliates because Netflix doesn't need affiliates. All right, so right now, everybody knows Netflix. Everybody around the world knows what it is. And so they don't really need somebody to point people to them, right? They're global. It's like saying Mike Tyson. Everybody knows the name Mike Tyson. When you say Bruce Lee, everybody knows Bruce Lee. You don't need to go out and put banners and put some ads about that and educate people about who Bruce Lee or Mike Tyson or Muhammad Ali is. So people know these names by heart. And so the bottom line is, this is an amazing website, and just to take you through a walkthrough, you can see over here that this is how the website looks like. At the top of the website, we have a magnificent advertisement. I'm saying magnificent. It's not magnificent, but if it makes us money, then we have to call it magnificent. But anyways, we have an advertisement. This is what we call above the header advertisement, and we have this amazing looking menu with two little menus, and over here you have these footer pages. And we have this little search bar that allows people to search about something. So for example, let's say that they want to search about Game of Thrones. They can search for it. You can come in here, search for Game of Thrones. And if we have a blog about Game of Thrones, it will be returned to them and they can actually see it. So here we only have one result. And so if they click in here, they will get inside this article of ours that is about Game of Thrones. Inside the article, you can see some ads as well. You can also see some interesting features, which is ads are integrated inside the article. Now, let me get rid of this. We value your privacy. This is about the cookie policy. Now, we've used the free plugin to enable us to create this, and I'm going to show you how to do that. But let me just click accept. And if I scroll down over here, you can see that people have the ability to share this on social media. So for instance, if they want to share this blog on Facebook, they just have to click there on the Facebook icon, and they can log into their Facebook account and share it with their friends. Similarly, they can share it across all other networks. And here, if they click, you can see that we have one other network. I don't know exactly what this is, but if I click, all right, this is a QR code. Oh, that's great. So here they can even take this and share this via a QR code with whomever they like. That's pretty interesting. Now inside the article, you can see some ads, and interesting, you can see some related posts, right? I'll show you how to do this, how to add related posts inside of the article. At the right-hand side, you can see a pretty good looking sidebar with some recent movie reviews. And at the bottom, you can actually add reviews of a product or even of a movie host or a movie website. So talking about affiliate marketing, if you're going to be an affiliate, then why not add an extra section over here? This theme enables you to perfectly create this section with no problem. And so you can go ahead and you can write a review about a particular platform where people can go and watch movies of your choice or of your liking. and you can point people down that route. Now, I'm going to show you how to use ChatGPT to write content so that you don't have to write it yourself. At the bottom of the blog, you can see that there are some related posts over here. To be precise, there are 6. And so if people scroll down here and see that they like any sort of other article, they can click on it and go and have a look at it. But if I keep scrolling down over here, normally I should be able to see the subscribe form. But let me just go back to home. So any time I want to go back to the home page, I can click on the logo over here and I'll go back to the home page. It's as easy as that. So I'm going to click on Movie Base. And if I scroll down over here, you can see some movies, some ads over here. You can see some other movies and ads and this blog. And if I scroll down, you can see this little newsletter, which people can subscribe to by just adding their email address and signing up. And that's it. So if I scroll down, let me take you to the footer. This is how the footer looks like. You can see that there are some social icons there. I'll show you how you can add your social links so that people can click, for example, and go and like you on Facebook or on Twitter or whatever they want. People can even log in, so they can create an account and they can log in, and which is pretty interesting. Now, this is, in my opinion, the overview overall of the website. And of course, I'm going to show you how to build this from scratch. I'm also going to show you how you can link your website to Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Now, Google Analytics will help you out in knowing just how much traffic you're getting and controlling the traffic that you're getting and having a perfect idea about how many people visit your website, what kind of people visit your website, where do they live. So it will enable you to gather some information about them. And Google Search Console will help you index your pages on Google so that you can be found. Now, I think this is pretty interesting up until now. And so right now, let's go ahead and let me show you the only two things required of you to create a website. All right, so the only two things that are going to be required of you to create a website are a domain and a hosting. So if you want to know what a domain is, Google is a domain, Facebook is a domain, Instagram is a domain. And so domain is mainly to brand your website. If you want your website to be known by a certain name or via a certain name, then you need to give it a brand name. And so this is actually something I learned from Philip Kotler in one of his biggest marketing books ever. And I can't picture how I read that entire book. It took me 3 months to read it. But it's an interesting book. I highly recommend you to go and read it. It's actually his biggest or his best-selling book. You can go and read it. It's called Marketing 4.0 by Philip Kotler. But anyways, Philip Kotler made it very clear that as a marketer, you need to make sure that your brand name is popular and that people can easily recognize it. Okay? So after the domain, we have the hosting. The hosting is one of the most important parts because if you want to take your website to the world, if you want it to be international, if you want everybody to be able to basically go inside and see your website, then you need the hosting. And a hosting provider will help you and will give you a space in which you can store your own website data on their servers. So particularly the hosting that we're going to be using for this particular blog is Hostinger. And after due diligence and a lot of research, I found that Hostinger is the best. Plus, you will be offered a free domain and a 10% extra 10% off when you purchase through my affiliate link down below. Now, I may make an affiliate commission from it if they deem that I deserve the thing, but at any point in time, I'm really doing this for you guys. I'm not doing this for the money, because if I wanted to do that, I would have just probably posted this course on Udemy and made it paid. But I'm posting this on YouTube because I want you guys to learn about WordPress and to master it in your own way, because WordPress is such an important and such a valuable skill. I mean, just the other day, I finished a job in which I got paid $500 for not more than 8 hours work developing a website for a client. And it was a very, very basic website, actually. He asked me to create a gym blog or a training blog for him. And I created that in less than 8 hours and got paid $500 for it, all because I'm a WordPress expert. And so do not take it so lightly. If you're watching this video, or if you're learning about WordPress, or if you're interested in WordPress, do not be one of the people that take it lightly and think, well, I can't do anything, but it's just WordPress. Well, if you believe that, well, I highly recommend you might as well just leave this video, because this is not for you. But if you believe in a better future, if you want to change your life, then learning and mastering WordPress can really do that for you and can really help you just as much as I do. You can get paid as much as $1,000 per website that you develop, and it's not hard work after you reach such a high level. So anyways, without further ado, let me go ahead and let's go to Hostinger to purchase the hosting. So why Hostinger? Why Hostinger of all hosting providers? Why not GoDaddy? Why not Bluehost? Why not HostGator? Well, this is why I've made this particular part of the video in which I'm going to compare Hostinger with other hosting providers. First things first, Hostinger offers the hosting for $2.99 per month. Plus, if you apply my coupon code Passive Income Gen Z, you will get it for $269 per month, which is as cheap as it gets. And so if I scroll down over here, we can see the web hosting, but let me just click here instead, click on web hosting. And if I go down, you can see the package here. We have one package, which is the single web hosting. Now, I highly recommend you not to use this one, because you can only host one website in there, and plus you don't get as much SSD storage, and you don't get a free domain. Now, with this particular premium hosting, you get it for $269 if you apply my coupon code. And if you scroll down, just look at the blessings that you get. Now, you get up to 100 websites that you can host. So you can host up to 100 websites on the same hosting plan if you purchase it. And the second thing here is you get 100 gigabytes of SSD storage. And what is the SSD storage? Let me just explain this to you. Now, for instance, this website over here that we're going to build together, this, in my opinion, or not in my opinion, but last time I checked, this website is not more than 200 megabytes in size. So websites like files, like videos, like other stuff, they have a size. They can be sized. And so this one here is not more than 200 megabytes. Here, they're offering you 100 gigabytes of SSD storage. So you can't just imagine how much you can host, how much data you can host here without any problem. They're offering you unlimited bandwidth, which, for example, if we compare it to Bluehost, Bluehost here does not offer you an unlimited bandwidth, and they have different prices for different bandwidths. So here, for example, if your website gets less or equal to 15,000 visitors per month, then they recommend you to go with the $2.95 per month plan. And if your website gets more than 15,000 visits per month, then that's going to put a lot of pressure on your website, and people wouldn't be able to find your website because there's a lot of pressure on it. And the downtime, the percentage of downtime will just get through the roof. Now, if you want to get more, or if you want to allow more visitors to your website without having problems, you need to pay more. So here, for instance, the 545 plan only enables you to accept no more than 50,000 people on the website, and then there is the Choice Plus, and then there is the Pro Plus. So you can see that you have to pay for the number of visits, plus you get a relatively lower SSD storage. Here, for the Choice Plus plan, you only get 40 gigabytes of SSD storage, but when it comes to this plan of Hostinger, you get 100 gigabytes. And so that tells something. That should tell you something. So over here, you also get a free domain, and you get an unlimited free SSL. When compared to Bluehost, they're telling you over here that you're going to get the free SSL, but the problem is that the SSL is only for one website, and besides, you will have to pay for it. So it's not, the price of the SSL here is not integrated with the $5.45. And let me just explain this to you. So if I take this hosting, for example, let me just act as if I'm going to purchase it. So I'm going to click, I'll create my domain later. And let me just scroll down. So we're acting like we're going to purchase the 12-month plan. If I scroll down over here, you can see that they're charging you $35.88 for the SSL, which is something that Hostinger doesn't do. When Hostinger tells you that it's $299, of course, without my coupon code, when they tell you $290, it's $290 with everything included. So you don't have to pay for the unlimited free SSL. Besides, you benefit from weekly backups, and your website is completely protected by Cloudflare protection, which means that people will need to verify if they're human or not, which is very important. Keeps away the bots and actually makes sure that the traffic that you're getting to your website is real people, not bots. Now, if I scroll down, you can see that you benefit from some free bonuses, such as in free email, website builder, and some other stuff, right? Now, the best thing I really would like to tell you about is the support, because so many of you, especially if you're WordPress newbies, if you're just starting out in the business of developing WordPress websites, you will recognize how tough it is. Now, it might be easy watching me create a website on video. Following up might seem easy, but really when you try to do it yourself, it gets a little tricky, right? And so sometimes you need the service and support. And the beautiful part about Hostinger is that they offer you 24/7 support, which means that you can chat with them, with their agents, not the chat bots. You can chat with their agents on a 24/7 basis, and you benefit from a 90.9% uptime guarantee, which is the minimum uptime guarantee that you get. So without further ado, let me go ahead and add this to cart. But first of all, I just want to do something. I'm going to add this to cart, but I just want to do something. So if I come back here to Bluehost, here, if I add the single domain SSL, which I didn't really add here, this is the site lock security. Now let me add the single domain SSL. So this is the price you'll pay for a 12-month plan with Bluehost. This is just the basic pro plan of Bluehost. You're getting this for $141, and it's only for 12 months. I know here that they're telling this is 5.45, but if you pay for the rest of the stuff that you have to pay for, it's not 5.45. It's actually about $12. And so if I come back here with Hostinger, you can see that you have many options here. The first option, let me just clarify why. For 1 month, you actually can get it for $11.99, and that's because you're only getting 1 month. If you get 12 months, you get a discount, right? But if you get 1 month, you can leave after that 1 month, right? If you don't like Hostinger, you can leave. And besides, Hostinger is the only company that gives you access to purchase 1 month of hosting unit. The other providers, they don't offer that. They tell you either buy 12 months or nothing. 12 months, 24 months, 48 months. You need to buy in batches. All right, so here, let's compare 48 months of hosting with Hostinger, applying my coupon code with just 12 months of Bluehost. So if I scroll down over here, I'm going to go and take you and apply the coupon code. And here's where you can apply it actually. Just click have a coupon code and apply. So if I come in here and apply my coupon code passive income Gen Z, let me just click on apply over here. You'll notice that right now we're at a $129.17. That is the price that you'll pay right now. And if we compare the 48-month plan with just 12 months plan of Bluehost, we're actually paying more. To be precise, we're paying about $15 more to get a pro hosting plan for just 12 months. And here you're getting 48 months for just $129.17. And that actually tells something by itself. Now over here, you can see that the coupon code was applied. It's right now the price lowered from $299 to $269. So I'm just going to go ahead and purchase the 12-month plan instead of the 48-month plan. And I'm going to scroll down over here and click on Pay with PayPal. Make sure that the coupon code is applied, Passive Income Gen Z. And I'm just going to go ahead right now and purchase. I'm going to submit the secure payment and pay with PayPal. You can pay with credit card. You can pay with Google Pay, Alipay, different payment gateways. It's up to you. I just prefer to pay with PayPal for convenience. So I'm just going to go ahead and click submit and secure payment. Right, so immediately after you get the hosting plan, you'll be taken to the Hostinger H panel. It is called H panel because it's Hostinger panel. Now, normally for other hosting providers, they're called C panels. But the beautiful part about Hostinger is that they have developed their own panel, and they've called it H panel for that matter. So over here, I can claim my free domain by clicking here, claim free domain. And I can come in here and choose the domain. So I'm going to enter a name. For this particular website, I'm going to name it movie. Well, if I go back, let me just have a look at the logo, movie base. Hopefully this is not taken because I think this would be taken. Let's check for availability. They say that actually this is taken. So let me go for movie paradise. I'm pretty sure this is also taken. Right, it's also taken. movie paradise or movie world. This is very basic. Movies paradise. Let's try movies paradise. Right, so these movie domains are all taken. Let's try movies 0123. It's also taken 01234. Let's try this one. And this one is not taken. Okay, that's great. So I'm going to click on claim a domain. And let me go ahead and claim this domain of mine. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and click finish registration. And here the domain is under review. So it takes just a little bit of time for them to review whether your domain actually fits with them. And yeah, so if your domain is validated, you'll be told that your domain is validated. If it's not validated, then they're going to tell you why. So here, recent verification email. Great, you registered, you will receive an email. Right, so let me go ahead right now to my email to verify my domain. So I'm going to go to my email, which I've used to purchase this hosting, and verify my domain. If they're asking you to do this as well, go to your email and you'll find an email from them, and you can use that email to register or verify your domain. All right, so here we are on my email inbox, and normally I should be able to see the email. All right, please confirm. Okay, so let me go over here and scroll down. Let me just verify. Right, so here we have verified the domain. Let me go back to Hostinger panel and let me just refresh the page, and normally my domain should be active. Right, so here we are. My email was verified. Now, normally they won't ask you to verify your email or your domain for all kinds of domains, but here, because I've chosen the term movies, these words are a little bit sensitive, okay? So they want to make sure that the person getting the domain acknowledges that, acknowledges responsibility or takes a little bit of responsibility before they can say, okay, go on, all right? So because so many people might purchase these domains and do all kinds of horrible stuff with them, and I highly recommend you not to do that, okay? So just stay pure, stay an angel. So over here, I'm going to go to websites. I'm going to click on websites. And over here, I have my domains. Now, these are two domains I already have, but I'm going to click on hosting. And I want to install the hosting over here. I want to set up the hosting for this recently created domain. So I've already set up the hosting for the previous ones. I'm just going to click set up hosting for this new one. And here's where it will take you. So just click on start now. Over here, click on create a new website. I'm going to choose WordPress, select WordPress. And right here, give yourself a password. Now, this is going to be the password for your WordPress dashboard that you're going to use to access the WordPress dashboard. Go ahead and type something. Right, so here they're going to prompt you to add some plugins after you add the password. And so don't add them, all right? Don't add any plugins. We know the plugins that we're going to add. So I'm just going to scroll down here and prompt you to click on skip. Now, right here, they're going to prompt you to download a theme for the website. Now, I don't recommend you choose anything from here. Just scroll down and click skip. I don't need the template. And here, choose the domain for which you want to install WordPress. Click on select. And if you have, or if you happen to have an existing domain, you can see up there that they have given you the option. If I go back, they've actually given you the option to use an existing domain. So if you have an existing domain that you've purchased from GoDaddy or from Bluehost or from Namecheap, then you can take that domain, come back in here and select it. Now, it's going to be a little bit complicated because you're going to have to point your name servers from the host or from where you purchased the domain to the name servers of Hostinger, but it won't really take much time. That's a very basic operation. And besides, Hostinger will guide you through that. So I'm going to click on select here. And then I'm going to click on finish setup, right? So right now, WordPress is being installed, and we're at 14, 15, 16. All right, so it's going, it's getting installed. And so I'm just going to wait until everything is installed. You can see right now the SSL is being installed. So I'm just going to wait a little bit before we can access the WordPress dashboard. All right, so right after installing WordPress, you can either go back to the control panel or the H panel by clicking here, or you can also click on the logo itself, Hostinger, to go back to the H panel, or you can click edit your website to go directly into the WordPress dashboard. Right, so logging in a second, we're going to be live on the WordPress dashboard. So here we are on the WordPress dashboard. This is absolutely not difficult, right? So here we are. And here at this particular point, we are on the Gutenberg editor. So Gutenberg is an editor, is a plugin that you can use to edit posts. And you can't really use it to edit pages. We're going to use Elementor for that. So Gutenberg is basically Gutenberg and the classic editor are only for posts. When it comes to Elementor, it is to edit pages, but also Elementor can't edit posts, just so you know. So I'm going to click here on the WordPress dashboard to go back to the WP dashboard. Over here, we have the dashboard. So let me go ahead and take you through a quick WordPress dashboard tutorial over here so that you can get where you're working, right? So here, this is what we call the WordPress dashboard. If I click over here on the dashboard, you'll notice that we have a couple of stuff or things going on. So for instance, let's say that we want to dismiss this little image. We can click dismiss and it's gone. But how about if we want to get it back? I can click screen options over here and you can see I can click on welcome and it will get back. If I click here again, it will go away. Now let's say, for example, that I want to reorganize this stuff or I just want to minify it. I can click right here and this will be minified, as you can see. So I'm minifying it. And if I want to delete something, I can just click on the element which I want to delete from here and they'll all go away. If I want to get them or get them back, I can click on them and they'll come back. So this is the dashboard, and here, if you click on updates, if there is a WordPress update, then you'll be the first to know over here. Now, right now, we are running on the current version of WordPress, which is the 6.11. So this is the latest version. And so if there is an update, normally it will be installed automatically. And you can also come in here and reinstall the version because sometimes you might run into some technical issues. And one of the things that you can do for troubleshooting is to reinstall the version of WordPress. But right here, I'm not going to do it because there's already an update that has taken place. There's no need for me to reinstall the same version because everything is fine up until now. So over here, if I go and take you to posts, you'll notice that if I click on posts, we'll find this dummy post, Hello World, that is basically uncategorized and it's not really, doesn't really contain any text or anything. This is a post that came pre-installed with WordPress. And so I can just click on trash if I want to remove it. And so right now the post was put in trash and I can go to trash and I can remove it for good by clicking on delete permanently. And so right now the post will be entirely and permanently deleted. In case you want to add a new post, you can click add new. And from here, they will take you to here and you can give your post a title. So here we are on Gutenberg. Like I said, Gutenberg is great because it enables you to create posts. And you can actually optimize posts and add featured images. You can add categories to the post. So for instance, let's say here that I want to name this post post 1, right? This is the title, for example. And over here, I can modify the visibility of this post. So I can make it public. I can even make it private or even protect it with a password. So let's say, for example, that you want to protect this post with a password and that you only want to show it to the people with the password LOIFB. So in this instance, only the people with the password LOIFB will be able to access this particular post. But in my case, I'm just going to click on public because I want everybody to access this post, and let me just go out. Over here, you have the choice either to publish the post immediately, or you can click on immediately and schedule when you want the post to run. So for example, let's say that you're running on a schedule and that every day you're posting 2 or 3 posts. You can come in here and schedule them. Now you can schedule exactly when you want that post to be posted. Let's say, for example, that I want the post with the title post 1 to be posted or to be public on the 15th of March. I can click on the 15th of March. And so right now, if I click out, you can see that this post will be published on March the 15th, 2023 at exactly 12:21 a.m. that's when the post will be published. Now over here, I'm not gonna publish it on the 15th. I'm gonna click this to get it back. In fact, this post, we're just gonna delete it because we don't need it. And right here, you have this option. So let's say, for example, that you want this post to be your hero post and that you wanna show it at the top of the blog. You can click stick to the top of the blog and this will be shown at the top of the blog. Here you can control the authors, or you can see or you can assign this post to any particular author. I'm going to show you how you can add users to your WordPress website in a matter of seconds. And over here, you can add categories to your post. Let's say, for example, that you want to categorize this post in the category of movies or thriller movies. You can add this as a category, click add new category. Now, categories have a relationship. So sometimes you might find there is a category called action, and in the action category, it has a subcategory of gore movies. It has a category of haunting movies, so a lot of stuff. So there's categories and there's subcategories. That's why you see over here that they mentioned the parent category. Okay, so a category can have a parent category, right? And that's how you establish that relationship. Over here, you have tags. Now, tags used to be really good for SEO, but not really as good as they were in the past. But you can add some tags. So, for example, let's say that you are talking in your post about, I don't know, about the Planet of the Apes. Then on your tags, you can add tags. You can add keywords related to the Planet of the Apes. Over here, you can add a featured image. A featured image is what shows over here. Let me take you to the website that we're going to build. And particularly here, this is a featured image, the image of Game of Thrones. If I scroll down here, this is also a featured image, one of Magnificent Seven. This one is for Magnificent, or not Magnificent, it's for Despicable Me. This one is for Zootopia. So by adding a featured image, you make it easier for people to understand what your blog post is about. And you can also help people get to where they want to get. Here, you can write an excerpt for a post. Now, excerpt, if I take you back over here to explain what an excerpt is, hopefully we can find some excerpts here. Now, here, this is an excerpt. An excerpt is pretty much an extract of the post itself. Now, over here, we have set the excerpt to be no more, I guess, than 50 words. And like I said, an excerpt is just a shorter version of the post itself. So it's not a big deal. Now here, if I scroll down, you can see some options. Now, these are not important to talk about right now, but let's suppose, for example, that you want to add a paragraph in your post. What you can do, you can click either this plus button from over here, or you can click this plus button from over here. Either way, they work the same way. So if I click this plus button, let's say that I want, in this case, to add a heading. I can click heading, and I can give this a title. This is a heading. A heading. Now notice that this heading is heading number 2, and this is not by accident, okay? Because heading number 1 is usually the title, and there can only be one heading number 1. I want you to pay careful attention here because this is SEO stuff. There can only be one heading number 1, and the heading number 1 is usually the title. And also for heading number 2, usually you shouldn't really put more than 2 to 3 H2s or heading number 2s. So I'm going to say this is a heading number 2. And let's say that I want to add a paragraph underneath the heading number 2. I can click on the plus button over here and I can choose paragraph and I can add a paragraph. I can say this is a paragraph for heading number 2. And there you go. I have a paragraph. Now let's suppose that I want to add maybe an image. I can click over here and I can go. We have the image block. I can click on the image block and there you go. I can upload an image from my media library from my computer. So I'm going to click on upload and I'll be taken over here. So let me upload this image and there you go. I have an image right now. So we have an image. An interesting thing about these images is that you can actually resize your images. So waiting for the image to be uploaded perfectly, right? It's showing up in pure quality here. You can resize it. And you can add caption to the image. So you can caption your images. For example, you can say, this is an image. So for example, if it's an image about Game of Thrones, you could say Tyrion talking to Cersei, or Tyrion talking to Daenerys Targaryen, right? If it's an image about, or an image depicting Tyrion talking to Daenerys, then that's what your caption should be. Now, there are a lot of blocks, and we don't really have the time to go through all of them here. I'm going to do my best to show you a couple of them. So if I click over here, you have the gallery block, you have the list block. Let's try the list block over here. Now, for the list, you have choices here. So you have, I think, let me just click over here. We have the bulleted list and the numbered list. The bulleted list is this one. So bullet 1. And if I scroll down and write bullet 2, this is what a bulleted list is. Now, I can turn this from a bulleted list by clicking here and here to a numbered list. And if I scroll down, let me just add a new element. Let's add, for example, a quote. So I'm going to click plus. Now the plus button. Now it's still adding lists. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go out of this by just clicking enter, enter, enter. And there you go. So right now I can click out and I can add a entirely new block. Let's add a quote. Now let's say, for example, that you want to add nothing is impossible, which is a quote by Muhammad Ali. Actually, so many people said that throughout history, but Muhammad Ali was the most famous that said it. So if you want to say nothing is impossible by Muhammad Ali, you can say that and you can make it a quote. Beautiful thing about this is that you can even give this a background. So you can come in here, you can click on the background, you can change the background to whatever you want. You can even change the color of the text to white if you want. And so you can do multiple things, right? You can even change the size of the text. You can make it XX large. You can make it large. You can make it XL. You can make it M, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on in here. And so Gutenberg is really great, gives you access to a lot of blocks. Over here, if you click plus from here, you'll be only able to see 6 blocks, but you can actually click on browse all and you'll be taken over here where you can access all the blocks that exist. There's just a lot of blocks over here. It's just unlimited. Let me just show you an example. Let's say that you want to add a Twitter tweet. You can come in here and take Twitter and embed it. And you can go and find a tweet. So for example, let me go and find a recent Elon Musk tweet. Let's search for Elon Musk tweet. And I can actually take it. Hopefully it's from Twitter, right? So let's go to Twitter. Pretty sure you're well aware that Elon Musk has purchased Twitter, unless you're not interested in Elon Musk. But you can see the man has 130 million followers on Twitter, of all places. That's absolutely incredible. So over here, for example, if I click on this tweet, if I go to the tweets link, I can now copy this link of the tweet, and I can go back to my WordPress and I can embed this link over here. So if I click on embed, in a couple of seconds, just wait for it. There you go. We have a tweet. Now right here on the right hand side, you can see that my settings have disappeared for some weird reason, but that's not a problem because you can just click on this wheel and the settings will come back. So this will be all for the tutorial on how to use Gutenberg. Right now, let's just not publish this post because this is just a dummy post. And let's go back to the WordPress editor, or the WordPress dashboard. I'm sorry. It's not the WordPress editor. Now let's say that you want to add categories from here instead of adding them from Gutenberg. You can click on categories and you can add categories from here. All you have to do is to give your category a name, a slug. And if it has a parent, you give it a parent. Of course, that parent needs to exist, so you can't give it a parent that doesn't exist yet. So if you have a parent relationship between categories, you have to make sure that you know which category is the parent and which categories are the sons or daughters of that particular categories. And you can give it a description over here, and when you add the category, it will be added over here and you can use it. For tags as well, you can either add them from here or add them directly from Gutenberg, either way. So if I click here on media, this will take me to the media library. And on the media library, we have the images that are used on the website or that you want to use on the website. So here, because we have used this image on that particular post, you can see that it is here on the library. Let's say that I want to delete it. I can click on it. I can come in here and delete it permanently. And so right now we won't have any images over here. Now, let's say, for example, that you want to add an image. You can click Add New, select Files. Let me go and take any image, for instance, this Game of Thrones image, and the image will now be added. Now, let's say, for example, you want to add a video. You can also add a video by using the same process. You can click Select Files, either go and upload it from your computer or drag and drop the URL, basically. So here, if I go to my downloads, let me take, for instance, this particular image, and let me just drag and drop it like this here. Right, so it was dragged and dropped, but I don't know why it wasn't added. But anyways, that's the process of how you do it. So I'm going to close this down. Let's go to pages right now. Now, a page is, for example, this one is a page. This is what we call the home page. Okay. Now, if we click on a post, right now we are inside of a post, not a page. This is the post, right? And if I click on the logo to go back to my home page, this is my home page. For example, if I click on the contact page, this is a page, right? It will take me to the contact page where people can come and they can reach out to the website's owner by giving their email address and name and subject line and their message, which is why it is called the contact page. But usually pages are they don't really contain something that you can read. Pages are a way to organize the content around the website. You can put a lot of posts on the same page to display them in this sort of way. So right here, I think we've pretty much seen enough. So let me scroll down over here, take you to comments. And by the way, similarly, pages are similar to posts in just one way. You can click Add New, and you'll be taken to Gutenberg as well, in which you're going to be prompted to give the page a name. So for example, you can name this page Privacy, Policy, and Conditions, or Terms and Conditions if you'd like. And you can click on Publish and publish. Now, because we don't have Elementor right now, we won't be able to edit this with Elementor, but later on when we install Elementor, we would be able to edit all the pages with Elementor. So right now, let's go to comments, and let me take you over here to comments to explain this to you. Normally, the comments section contains the comments of people that visit your website, okay? So if somebody visits your website, they may leave a comment, and you will be able to see it here. Now, you can either spam that comment, trash it, or disapprove of it, or put it on hold. So in other words, you can control exactly the comments that you can show on your website. Nobody can post anything, and that thing you can remove it from there, to cut long story short. Here we have this plugin called WP Forms that came pre-installed with this version of WordPress. So WP Forms basically will allow you to create forms, just like this one over here that we have created to capture emails. This is a form. And plugins like this one exist to help you create a form. Appearance, let's click on Appearance and click on Themes. A theme is what gives the website its look. For instance, the theme that is active over here on this website is 2023. As bad as it sounds, but 2023 is not the best theme out there. It's actually one of the ugliest themes, and it's a free theme developed by WordPress themselves, by the company. So it looks actually ugly. So if I go and take you to have a look on the website right now, if I click on Visit Site, this doesn't really look like the best website out there. It's just horrible, right? So in order to make your website look better, you can add more themes. And for instance, you can click Add New, and you will be able to see a wide variety of themes that exist. One of the most infamous ones is Astra. I'm pretty sure you've heard of it. If you're learning of WordPress and not heard of Astra, then that's not really normal. That's not usual, I would presume. But Astra is one of the most famous plugins. Also, Ocean WP, Cadence. All of these plugins are very, very famous, except, of course, for these 2019, 2018, these 2020 plugins. These are not really the best plugins out there, trust me. Now, for this particular website, we're going to be using Jnews theme, which is a very, very good theme for creating blogs. And we're going to be using that. So let me just scroll up. And for example, let's say that you want to install the Astra theme instead of this theme 2023. Now you can come in here, install Astra by simply clicking on install, and you can click activate right after the theme gets installed. Over here, they're asking me to log back in. So I'm just going to log back in. And this is the opportunity for me to show you how to log back into your WordPress dashboard. So, right, so let me just enter the password here. And here I am back. So this is how you install themes. And by the way, when you're using a theme, make sure that you only use one, right? So normally you can only install one, but sometimes you might find that you have a lot of themes out here. So for example, the theme that is active here is 2023, right? The other ones are not active. So let me just go ahead and click on them and delete them, because that will help speed up your website. Let me click here, delete this one. Okay. I'm sure. Click delete. Okay. So delete the ones that you don't need. Keep only the themes that you are using or that you will use. And over here you have this option to click on the editor. This will enable you to access the theme code, and they will tell you over here, right, that right, it's not this. No, this is not the editor. This is not the theme editor, by the way. I just made a mistake. My bad. So I'm going to go back to the dashboard by clicking here. Let me scroll down, keep explaining this stuff to you. So right now we are on plugins. Let me go and see the installed plugins. Now we have installed plugins by default. These plugins, it's not like we wanted to install them. They were installed by default because they come in as default plugins. And plugins actually are what add functionality to the website. So for example, let's say that you are an e-commerce website. You need a cart. You need people to add products to cart, and you need to offer that functionality to them. How do you do that? Well, you need a plugin. It's called WooCommerce. Let's say, for example, that you want to enable payments on your website. You need a plugin, a payment gateway. For that, there are plugins such as PayPal payments, such as Stripe, and so on and so forth. For example, let's say you want to add a forum on your website. Then you need a plugin. Plugins for that are bbPress, BuddyPress. If you want to optimize your website for SEO, you need a plugin. For that, you can find Yoast SEO, Rankmath. If you want to speed your website up, you need a plugin. For that, you might find Lightspeed Cache. You might find WP Fastest Cache. There are also paid plugins like WP Rocket, but by far, it's the best plugin out there. But anyways, anything you want to add on your website is a functionality, and that requires a plugin. Now over here, you can come to this, and you can regularly check on your plugins, auto-update them or update them. For this instance, auto updates are not enabled, so you can click select all the plugins, in which case they will all be selected. And you can click here on bulk actions and click enable auto updates and apply. So right now, what will happen is these plugins are actually going to be updated without you having to update them manually. Now over here, you can see that some plugins are activated, some plugins are deactivated. For the plugins that are activated, you can see here they're telling you you can deactivate it, and that's how you know if it's activated or not. For the plugins that are deactivated, they're prompting you to activate it. For example, here this one is deactive, so I can click activate, and after I do that, this plugin will be activated. Now here they're asking me to set up this plugin, which I'm not really into. So right now, let me just take you through the rest of the stuff over here. And by the way, same with the pages and posts and every other thing. You can also delete a plugin. You just have to, first of all, deactivate a plugin. Let's say, for example, you want to deactivate all these plugins at once. I can click on all of them, select all of them, and I can click deactivate and apply. And so right now, they'll all be deactivated. Let's say, for example, that I want to delete all of them except for instance, Hostinger. I can click on all of them from here and unselect Hostinger. And so now everything is selected except for Hostinger. And I can go to bulk actions and I can click over here. I can click on delete and apply. So right now everything is going to be deleted except for Hostinger. You can see over here. So if you want to add a new plugin, just click on add new. You come in here, much like the themes, search for the plugin which you want to add and download that. For example, let's say you want to add a forum on your website. Just like I said, bbPress is a forum software that can enable you to do that. Click on install that plugin. and activate it. Now, usually plugins are well known, and if you do search, if you need a specific functionality, for example, like adding cookies or adding a contact form, or for example, this is the cookie, right? Cookie setting. Now, this can be accomplished with a plugin. You can add all of this stuff using a plugin, no problemo. So I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to deactivate all of these plugins. Actually, one of them is already deactivated, but I'm just going to apply this for all of them, and I'm going to select all and delete all. Click on apply, and that's it. So at this moment, normally there's only one user, but you can add more users. So you can come in here, click on all users, in which case you will see that there's only one user, which is Fit Fanatics, which is me. And you can add more users by clicking add new. And you'll be wondering, well, why do we need to add users? Actually, a website is a company. So you have people taking care of writing the content. You have people taking care of fixing errors and technical stuff and technical issues. And so you need to create for each person working with you a specific account or user account. And you can do that from here. All you have to do is to click add a new user, assign a username, an email address, a first name, and give them a password. And here you can even give them roles. So for example here, if somebody is an author or a blogger, someone taking care of writing the content, you can assign the role of editor or author to them, in which case they will only be able to take care of posting stuff and creating posts, but they won't be able to delete pages or do some other stuff. So they won't have all the control that you have because you are the administrator. Now over here, you can come to your profile and you can see your profile over here. You can change stuff. For example, let's say that if you don't like this color of WordPress, you can change it to a light color, to a modern color, to a blue color, to an ocean color, ectoplasm, sunrise, whatever you'd like. I like this to be default, so I'm just old school. And let me just scroll down over here and you can see you have your email. Anytime you want to change your email over here, you can come and change it by simply changing it from here from the contact info. Here you have the name of the website. Don't change that. You can add biographical info about you. You can add your profile picture. And over here, you can set a new password for your account. Of course, they will require you to give them the old password to verify that it's you. And so you can change your password from here, just so you know. Over here, tools, there's not really much to be seen in that. And so here, let's go to settings. I want you to click on settings general. And on the general settings over here, I want to warn you not to touch this, not to touch the WordPress address URL and not to touch the site URL. Keep those like they are. Please don't touch them, because if you do, it's going to crash your website and it's going to take you anywhere from 24 to 48 hours, of course, with the help of the Hostinger people or Hostinger technical team to get your website back up. So keep your nose out of here. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, if you scroll down, you can even change the date format. You can change the site zone. You can even change the website language. Let's say that you're French and you don't like English. You want to talk French. Now, you can come there and you can change this to French. It's as easy as that. If you're Spanish, you can come in here and change this to Spanish, to your own language. Now, over here, if I click on writing, there's also a very interesting thing we want to see here. And that is the default post category. Now over here, you can set the default post category to uncategorized. Uncategorized means that that post doesn't have a category, but doesn't mean that you can't change the category inside of Gutenberg, because you can do that any time of the day, twice on Sunday. Over here, we have these information, which is not really important. And here, you can add some pings for particular URLs that are, I would say, URLs that are known to be spammy websites. You can come and add these URLs over here, and what this will do is it will disable these URLs from accessing your website. They won't be able to see your website. Now you can go to Google and search for spammy URL websites, and they will give you all the websites that are known to be spammy. You can come in here and paste those URLs in here. Now I'm going to click on reading, and right here you can see that the homepage displays as the latest posts. We're going to leave it at that for the moment, but normally the homepage should be a static page and the posts page should be the blog page. So you should go and create a blog page and put it as posts page. And for the home page, you need to point it out to home so that you can enable this functionality, which is very interesting. And let me show you what it is. For example, if I click on this blog right now, I'm out of the home page. I'm on the blog. I'm on this blog page. I'm seeing this blog. And how do I get back to the home page? Well, I can click on the logo and I will get back to the home page. It's as easy as that. Now, when you make your home page a static page, and when you select home page and point it to the home page, you will enable this functionality, which is pretty amazing. Now, if I scroll down over here, you can see that for each post, you can include either the full text or the excerpt. I like it to be full text. Here, you can decide how many posts you want to show at the most per page. And you can see over here, the search engine visibility. You can decide to disable search engines from indexing your website. Let's say that you're not prepared yet and you don't want people to see your website. You can come in here and discourage search engines from indexing your website. It's as easy as that. Over here, I'm just going to go to permalinks because that's the last thing we're going to see over here in this tutorial. Apart from that, we pretty much have seen everything. And I want you to change the permalink to post name, because what you want to do is you want to enable, or you want your post to be shown in this particular format. And let me show you what I'm talking about. If I click on the post from here, you can see that this is how it displays: URL / post name. And that's the disposition that you want, because that's the best disposition for SEO. If you do anything else, it's your choice, it's your prerogative, but it's not SEO friendly. I'm just telling you right and straight to the face. So right now we have finished with our WordPress tutorial. Let's go ahead and let's install the theme for our website. Let's start working on the website and build it from scratch. And so right now, in order to install the theme, I need you to go to Appearance and then click on Themes. Now, the theme that we're going to be using for the website is called Jnews. And so you can find it on Theme Forest. So go to Theme Forest. Search about Theme Forest. Make sure that you have Keywords Everywhere installed. Keywords Everywhere is an extension that enables you to see the website's information. So here I can see Theme Forest has a MOZ domain authority of 93, how many referring domains, and I can check whether or not this is legit. So it just protects me from pretty much landing on the bad website. All right, so here, because spammers can actually be very, very smart. They can even create the same website and just change a couple of letters in the domain. And sometimes people fall for that, and they may enter the wrong website. That's why I highly recommend you to use Keywords Everywhere. It's just a recommendation. I'm not putting anything on anyone, so you can either go with it or not. It's your choice. Now click on Theme Forest. Without further ado, let's go to the website, and over here you can search for the theme which we're talking about. And I already have went ahead and installed the theme, but in your case, you can come in here and look for it. This is the one, Jnews, and you can pretty much install that theme and we'll use it. So over here, I'm going to go to my downloads because I already have the theme installed, and I can just download it from here. So when you pay, normally you have only two options. You have PayPal and Skrill. And so I highly recommend you to pay with PayPal. Skrill is not really the best deal out there. But if you pay for the theme, you'll have perfect access to download your theme from here. And so you can click on the download button. You can either download all files, including the documentation, or you can install the WordPress file only. I just need to install the WordPress file only. Now over here, they're also giving you the license certificate in two formats, PDF and text. And this is if it happens that they ask you for a license to activate your theme, which they did not for me with this particular theme. But if they do ask you, you have the license certificate and you can go and take the purchase code and use it to activate your theme. I'm just going to go ahead and install the WordPress file only. And then I'm going to go back to WordPress. First things first, let me go ahead and delete these themes that we're not going to use. And I'm just going to go ahead over here, click on Add New. And since this is a zip file, it's not a theme that you can find up here. Normally, you have to upload this theme. So click on Upload, choose a file, and you'll be uploading the file that you've just downloaded from Theme Forest. Now, this is not the one. I'm going to choose the other one. right? So I've just made a mistake. This is the one. And that's it. So once you've chosen the right file, you've uploaded it, click on install now. So right now the theme was installed. It just needs to be activated. So click on activate. And right here, they're asking us to activate the license. I'm just going to click on activate the Jnews license. Let's go ahead and activate this license. Now it's already installed on another domain that I own. But normally I see that it was activated successfully now. I'm just going to go ahead and click on import, demo, and style. And let's go ahead and import a demo website to our website. Now the demo website they're going to be importing is a movies demo website. Over here we have plenty of options. Now let me just take you and show you the options. For example, I can click preview. You can install a website just like this one here. And if you don't like this kind of website, let's say for example that you want to create a food blog, you can import a food blog, a ready-to-go food blog without needing to do anything, right? You can import this one just like it is, like this, pretty easily. And there are a lot of them. So for example, let's say you have a travel blog, you can import a travel blog. So you have a lot of templates that you can use from here. Now I'm just going to go ahead and search for the movie, right? So here we have, right, Movieholic, and I'm going to click on import. Now over here, one thing I need to tell you, beware. Do not use Visual Composer. Do not check Visual Composer. Click on Elementor, then click on import demo. And it's going to take a little bit of time, but it's going to import the demo website. Okay, so right now importing the demo website was successful, so I can just click on OK. And let me just take you and show you out of the box how this looks, because out of the box, this looks particularly interesting, right? You don't really need to do much. We're just going to place some ads and do some basic editing, like changing the logo and adding a contact page and a form to just basically get people subscribed into our Mailchimp newsletters. But apart from that, there's not really more that you can do in here. Everything is ready for you. So without further ado, let me go ahead and let's go and click on customize. So when you click on customize, we'll be taken to the theme customizer. And we can basically start off with doing the editing, right? So this is very basic stuff. Now, if I take you to this website over here, you can see that we have some ads above the fold, ads in here, ads everywhere. So how do you control the ads, right? You want to know that, right? And how do you change the logo? How do you modify the menu? What's a menu? So all that stuff, we're going to clarify it, right? So let me go back over here. Now, this here is what we call a site feed. And if you notice, I don't have it here because I disabled it. And exactly this is what I'm going to do over here. I'm going to disable it because for a movie website, I don't see why this should be here. Now, if you want to keep it, you can keep it. I'm just going to go ahead and disable it. I'm going to go click home page. Just check this, right? So the home page displays as a static page, which is pretty good. If I go over here to Jnews layout, I click on site feed settings and let us disable this site feed. So right now we're not going to have the site feed. And here, let me just tell you that your visitors can actually use 4 layouts of the website. So you have 4 layouts that you can offer your visitors. If somebody doesn't like layout number 1, then they can click over here and choose layout number 2. And you'll notice right after that, this has changed to layout number 2. If they don't like layout number 2, they might like layout number 3. So there's just different layouts on what you can show people on your website. And also it depends on what you want to show, right? So there's just different layouts that you can use. I'm just going to go back to layout number 1. And by the way, if you want to show a layout as your default layout, what you can do is you can come in here. You can click on layout and background. First of all, let me just look at something and let me go out here. So let's go out. I want you to come here to homepage settings. And then over here, choose the homepage that you want to display by default. Because then the homepage that you display by default is the one that people are going to be able to see once they land on your website. So I like home number 1. It's a perfect layout for me, so I'm just going to keep it. Over here, posts page, well, there is no posts page because for this particular theme, there's no need for you to use a posts page or to do like you would do for a normal theme or for other themes. There's no need for you to put your posts in a page or something of that sort. I'm just going to click publish over here. And right at the bottom here of the customizer, you can see that you can see the tablet view. You can also have a look at what this looks like on mobile. And clearly, you can see that this is perfectly optimized for mobile. It doesn't require you to do any mobile editing whatsoever. So mobile optimization is absolutely not needed. Tablet optimization is absolutely not needed. The website looks fantastic right out of the box without any editing at all. So I'm just going to go out from here. Let's click on site identity. And so the first thing we're going to do over here is to design the site tagline. Now, as the tagline mentions here, the tagline is pretty good because this is what shows up here, and this is what people are going to see on the browser. And so because this website is about movies, I'm thinking about something movie-like, right? Right, so I'm going to go to Canva. I'm going to show you how you can design a site tagline. Now, normally the site tagline should be 512 by 512 pixels. And so let's head to Canva right now and let's design this thing together. All right, so first thing you want to do is go to Google, search for canva.com, and then over here I'm going to click on Canva. Now, I have the pro version of Canva, but you can use Canva all the same. Even if you don't have the pro version, you can use the free version. Because designing a logo or a favicon with Canva does not really require you to have the pro version. Even though the pro version is kind of cool, but you don't really need to go with the pro version if you don't want to. So I'm going to click create a design here. I'm going to click custom size. And remember, the size of the favicon according to the customizer is ideally 512 by 512 pixels. That's exactly what I'm going to put it here. Just make sure that you select pixels and not inches or millimeters or centimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and select this as my size. I will have a new file opened, and there we go. So right now I'm going to click on elements, and let me go and search for something movie worthy or have something to do with movies. Let's search for movie, and let me click on graphics over here, and let's just look. I think this one is pretty cool. Let me add that. And so I think I'm going to go with this one. You can go with different other ones. You can go with this one. You can go with any one you like. Now, I decided to go with this one because I can customize the color on this one, right? Over here, they're offering me to customize the color, which means that I can change this color to green, to red, whatever I want. And this will be useful for me because when I want to design a logo for the dark menu or for the dark mode, this will prove in handy because the logo that we're going to use is going to be the same, but it's not the same color for all modes. For light mode, we will use the black color, but for the dark mode, we would rather go for this kind of grayish color, right? So I'm gonna make this bigger, put it in the middle. I'm gonna name this as favicon, and there we go. So I'm gonna go ahead and download this, but I'm gonna download it with a transparent background as a PNG. Click transparent background. Now here, you can't do this if you're not a Canva Pro or if you don't have the Canva Pro subscription, but I can show you a website that you can go to and you can basically take this image and remove the background off of it for free. So the website I'm talking about is Remove BG. This is a free website that you can come to and remove the background off of your image simply by clicking on the website, enter, and then over here, they're going to ask you to upload your image. So upload your image and remove the background. And over here, they have a GIF that is pretty self-explanatory on what this website helps you do. It's free. I was going to say very free, but it's actually free, so don't worry about it. So this means you don't have to use the Canva Pro subscription. So now that I have my favicon, I can go back over here, click on change this image, and I can upload the file from my media library. And so I'm just going to go there. Favicon and add that, right? So you can see right now the favicon was added. I can give it a title. I can say movie website favicon. Now, alt text is pretty useful for SEO purposes, and when you add keywords related to what your website is about in the alt text, that will help boost your SEO. And also, not only that, this will enable people with disabilities to understand what your favicon is about, because some people are blind and they might not be able to see or to know what your website is about. And so by enabling them this option, by enabling them the option to, or by writing the alt text, simply by writing the alt text, they can use Google to translate what your image is about, and this boosts your SEO in certain ways. So I'm going to click on select. You can see that right now we have selected it, and this is how it's going to appear for people on desktop. It's perfectly transparent. It's pretty cool. So I'm going to click on publish. Right now we are done with our site favicon. Now you can add a tagline, even though I highly recommend you not to do that. So I'm going to go out now, and let me take you for a walk over here to show you the menus that exist. First of all, let me click on desktop view, and make sure that you publish by clicking publish to save the changes. And let's go out to the WordPress dashboard so that I can show you. Click the X button, and let me show you the menus that exist. Basically, we have 3, but let's go through them all. So I'm going to click over here, go to the dashboard. And so I want you to go to appearance, hover over it, or if it doesn't show, make sure you hover over it or click it, then click on menus. And then we'll access the menus that are on this website. So here we have 3 menus. How do I know that? Well, you just click over here and you will see we have footer menu, main menu, and the mobile navigation. Now the footer menu is the menu that is displayed at the bottom of the website. If I scroll down, now this is the other website that we've built, and this is the footer menu, right? Now the main navigation menu is the one that is displayed over here, right? This is the main navigation menu, and the mobile menu is the one that is displayed when people visit your website from mobile. So there are different menus over here, and let's say, for example, that you want to add a page to the footer menu. You want to add something. Now you can click on view all. Now unfortunately here we don't really have much pages, but let's go over to pages and let's add a new page just so I can show you how you can add a page to a menu. I'm going to go to all pages and I'm going to click on add a new page. Let's name this page dummy page, right? Or page example, or whatever you want to name it. It's just as an experience, just so you can understand how you can add pages to the menu. Here, I'm going to name it dummy page. Click on publish, publish. Then what I'm going to do is simply, I'm going to go back to the WordPress dashboard. Notice that right now we don't see the WordPress icon because we've added our own icon. So the cinema icon actually appears. It gives a better look, to be honest. And so here I'm going to go out to appearance, click on menus. And from there, we can edit the footer navigation. Now make sure that you select the menu that you want to edit. So for example here, if you want to edit the footer navigation, make sure that that is the one selected and the one that you see over here. Now if you want to select the main navigation menu, click on the main navigation menu and then click on select. And so as of now, what's going to display over here is the main navigation menu. Now let's go back to the footer navigation menu because that's the menu I said we're going to edit. And of course, I'm going to redo the editing. So I'm going to remove the page after I add it. But here, I'm going to click on view all. And you can see this page that we've just added, the dummy page. I can click on it, add to menu. So right now, the dummy page was added to menu. And so if I go, for instance, and preview my website on mobile, first of all, I have to save the changes by clicking on save menu. And now if I go over here and if I scroll down, now, normally I should be able to see it here. Now I'm not able to see it now, but if I refresh the page, I will be able to see it. Right? So if I scroll down over here, let me just scroll down some more and some more. You can see here we have dummy page. Now, I'm going to keep that page open. I'm going to come back over here. I'm going to click on the page and I can remove it by clicking on remove from here. If I click on save menu and if I go back over here, let me refresh. Notice that the dummy page is going to disappear because we have removed it. It's as simple as that. I'm going to close this page and let me take you to the main navigation just so to show you how it is composed or what it is composed of. I'm going to select the main navigation And let me take you to the dummy website that we've built. So for instance, if I hover over the movie review category, you can see that there we have some blogs and we have some trending tags. Now, the reason why you see these blogs over here of all other ones is because these blogs are categorized under the movie review category, or they are children of the movie review category. So you can categorize your website like this. You can put movie trailers in one place. You can put movie reviews in one place. You can put genres in one place. And how you do that is by basically handling the categories of your posts. That is very crucial that you have a blueprint of the categories of the posts which you want to post on your website. So let me take you over here to this particular page, main navigation. You can see over here the choices that we have, all the layouts. And right here, you can see, for example, this movie review category. Now here, you can click on the mega menu and you can see that the style that is chosen is this one. And so if I go, for example, and visit the website from here, let me just go and visit the website. Let me just hover over the category movie review. Now, because this is the style that is selected, if I hover over it, you can see that this displays exactly like this. Now you can change the style, you can even disable it. So if I disable this, and if I save menu, if I go back right now over here and refresh the page, and of course, if I hover over the category movie review, you'll see right now that I can see nothing. And that's because I have disabled the mega menu. So the mega menu appears for the category trailer because it's still enabled for it. But for the category movie review, it's disabled. So I'm going to go to movie review, wait for a second until the elements show up, and then click on mega menu category, and then click on the category that you want to choose. And then right here, you can add as many posts as you want to show. Now here, only 5 posts show. You can show more. You can even add some trending tags related to this particular category over here. So for example, I can see some categories or some tags there, but they're not related to movies. Let's add something like Harry Potter. Click on enter, and let's add something else, maybe Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. Let's add maybe something like the Planet of the Apes. And so right now, if I go and if I save changes, let me wait for a second over here until changes are saved. And if I go over here and refresh the page, if I hover over the term, or if I hover over the movie category, well, let's just wait here. Now, there's something wrong. Let me refresh the page once more. There is a warning over here. Okay, so let me go back here. Let me click on movie review. I think we've done something wrong here. Let me just see the options. Mega menu, style number 2, trending tags. Now let's save. Sometimes this can happen, so just stay relaxed. Let me refresh. And so right now this has changed. But the only issue is that the trending tags weren't added, and that's because I didn't save the changes. Let me go back and just add one tag, just one tag on the movie category, on the movie review. So over here, I'm going to say Harry Potter, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. And click on Save Menu. So right now, the tag is there. So if I just come back here and refresh the page, and if I hover over Movie Review, right, we can see the same issue, right? Attempt to read property. Okay, so I understand. I understand that this issue is because we must add the we must add this tag. We must add it from tags over here. So you need to come to posts, and you need to come to tags, and you need to add the tag first here. So for example here, add Harry Potter. It's good that you saw that problem on camera, by the way, because when you fall into it, you'll know that this is only normal. So if I add this as a new tag, what will happen right now, I'm pretty sure that this will solve the issue. So if I go back to appearance, click on menus, I can right now add Harry Potter with no problem. So I'm going to go to movie review. Then I'm going to click on mega menu category. Then over here, let's search for Harry Potter, right? So I can select it. And if I save right now, normally this little problem that we see, this warning, it should go away normally. If it doesn't, then I'm just going to quit. Right, so you can see that it went away. And if I hover over, you can see the category Harry Potter or the tag Harry Potter was added right there on the right hand side. So you can see what I'm talking about over here. And so, for example, let's say that you want to add a specific icon next to the movie review. You can come in here and you can click on the movie review, wait for a second, and you can click on menu icon and you can click enable icon on this menu. Now you can use an image as an icon, so enable image. You can add an image, make it an SVG image, or you can add an icon from the icons that they have over here. By clicking on choose icon, select one of those. They have 787 icons. You can toggle like this. Choose the one that you like and that fits what you like best. For example, I'm just going to go with this one here. You can even give it a color. So I'm going to give it the color red. And if I save menu right now, if I go back, notice that a tag or a specific, right, it was added, but the only issue is that the background color is red. So I could have thought of any other color than red. It was stupid of me to think of red only. So let me go and change this to, let's say, black. Let's change it to black because black is also the color of the favicon. So it will go perfectly, will flow perfectly with it. So I'm going to change this to black. And right now, if I save, if I go back here, let me just go back and refresh. So right now, if we refresh, this should just solve the issue. Okay, so if I refresh now, just watch. You can see that we have a tag added. At any point in time you want to disable it, which is what I'm going to do now, you can go back over here, click on menu icon and disable it. Click on save menu every time, save menu, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to save the changes and the changes wouldn't propagate, which means that you wouldn't be able to see any results. So right now we have particularly seen this. Now you can add pages to your menu, but you can also add categories. So for example, here, if you click on the categories, you can see how many categories we have, right? So for example, the category of serial movie is not added over here on the menu. So I can check it and I can click add to menu. Remember, I told you that if you want to add a category, hover over posts or click on posts, then go to category and add that category. So right now the category serial menu was added. If I click on save menu, right now if I go over here and refresh, you will see that serial movies will be added over here, right? So you can see that we've added a new category. That's pretty good. So this is how you particularly manipulate your menu. Now you can remove stuff, you can add stuff. Let's say, for example, that you want to remove the celebrity category. You can click on it and you can click on remove and this will do it. You can click save menu and that's it. Now the beautiful part about the menu here with this theme is that you have a mega menu. You can add the menu icon and you can add the menu badge. You can also add tags, which is something that is not really available for a lot of other themes. Okay. Now over here, this menu is the main menu. We have the footer menu, the mobile navigation. Let's check the mobile navigation last. Click on select to make sure that it is selected. Let me just check on it. And I feel like the mobile navigation menu is a little bit different, but anyways, click on save settings right now. Let us go back over here to the home page and click on customize to access the theme customizer because we need to customize more stuff. And so let me take you over there and show you more of what you can do with this theme. Right, so over here, I'm going to go ahead and click on Jnews layout. And I want to take you here to the scheme, to the layout and background. Okay, so the layout and background. Now over here, you can see you have options to enable boxed layout, enable boxed container, enable boxed shadow. You can change the container background color. For example, the container background color is this white color on which everything is displayed. If I make it, for example, red, you can see what this does. And so that's explainable. If I change it to black, this is what's going to happen. So you can manipulate the color from here. I'm just going to change it to white. And that's pretty good. So I'm going to publish, go out. Now over here, if you click on scheme and website color, from here is where you can manipulate the color on your website. Notice that the accent color is this particular color, red, because it matches the color of the logo Movieholic. Now, but you can change this to any particular color you like. Let's say you want to change it to blue. Notice what happens is that it changed to blue. Now, in my case, I'm just going to change it back to red because I like the red color. And I think it's better. Now, alternate color, if I scroll down, is the color that you can see over here, for instance, on this time clock. Now, let's change this, for example, maybe to green. And you can see that it changed. It even changed the review color, but I'm going to get it back to where it was. Now, the heading color is the color of the headings. So if I click on the heading, let's say you want to make it dark blue. So I can change it to dark blue. It's better, in my opinion. And when you hover over it, it's red because the accent color is red. So if I keep scrolling down, entry color content. So if I click on a particular blog over here, if I enter inside of that blog, what you'll notice happening is that there is a little bit of a difference in color. So over here, this is what we call the entry color or the entry content color. And it's set for black, but you can set it up to be different. You can set it up to be, for example, blue. And if I do that, you can see that it changed to blue. I'm just going to get it back to black because I think the black color is better. And here, entry link color. Now the link color is set here to black as well, but I can change it to blue, right? And you can enable a link underline to add an underline on a link. Now over here, I'm going to click on publish and go back. Now mobile browser color to view on mobile. You can see here what this looks like on mobile. And I don't really think that you should do anything on mobile. Just keep it as it is. Let's go out. And right now, let's go ahead and edit the header of our website. What I'm more interested in here is not to change anything because I think the header is important or is particularly good. But if you want to add something to the header, let's say, for example, that you want to add the weather next to the search form. Now over here, you have this element, the weather. You can click it, drag and drop it, put it here. So what's going to do is going to add the weather, even though not a weather reporting website, but normally I should be able to see it. I don't see it, so I'm going to delete it. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to change this element, maybe add something else. Let's add a button because a button is particularly known or particularly, right? So here we have a button that says subscribe. Hey, I can keep it there, but it just looks awful, really. It doesn't really look because it's centered and stuff. So, but you can add a button. You can add another button next to it if you like. Make it 2 buttons. Now, you can add a particularly or a date, for example, here. You'll add a date. Right, you can see there. And so I think I'm just going to keep the subscribe button plus the date. I think both of them are not really so bad after all. And that's it. Now, you can even add an advertisement if you want. For example, let's say you want to add an advertisement over there, even though it's going to take a very small space and it's going to be cramped up. That's why I'm going to remove it because I have another way on how to add the advertisements. And I prefer this to be this way. Let me go back, click on the header. They took me to header ads, which I don't want. I'm going to go to Jnews header. And over here, I want you to click on the logo. And let's go ahead and design the logo for our website using Canva. So over here, we are on Canva. First of all, let me come back here. And let me click on this logo to check what is the size of this particular logo over here. So if I click it, if I click this logo, the size of it is 199 by 34 pixels. Now I'm going to make my logo 100 or 200 by 50. So I'm going to click on resize from here. And like I said, 200 by 50 pixels. Because with Canva, the minimum height is 40 pixels. And the minimum width is also 40 pixels. So I'm going to copy and resize. Now the copy and resize is only an option if you have the pro version of Canva. But if you don't have the pro version of Canva, it's not a problem. You can go back to the Canva homepage, click on custom size and add the size which you want to add. And you can come and search for this specific icon or even copy it from another file and add it here. So now I have my icon. I'm just going to drag and drop it over here. Obviously, I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Place it here into the save zone. Click over here. Now, I'm not going to use any element. I'm going to use text instead. And so I'm going to go ahead and add a text. This text, I'm going to make it 16 in size, or maybe let's try with 15. And let's change the font of it to something relevant to the movie world. Let's go with Intro Rust. Well, this is pretty big, right? So if I add my text over here, let me add the website. I want to name my website Movie Bay, for example. And I can click on this and I can change the color of this text only, for example. I can keep this one black, or I can change this one as well to white, to not white, but to red, for example, if I want. Now, I think this is pretty good. Now, this one, I'm going to change it to dark blue. So I'm going to go with the dark blue like this. And there you go. I have my logo. So I'm going to place this one here. I have my logo ready. So I'm going to go ahead, name this one logo, normal. And I'm going to download this. Now, usually it's better to download it as an SVG, but I'm just going to download it as a PNG because sometimes WordPress doesn't really upload SVG images as well. So I'm going to click out over here. I'm going to change this image, upload files, and I'm going to upload the logo that I have just created right now. Let's upload this logo. There you go. So right now, if I choose the logo, you can see in hindsight, it's going to change, which is pretty good. And the Retina logo, if I click on it, the Retina logo normally is twice the size of the normal logo. So over here, if the normal logo size is 199 by 34, normally the Retina logo size is twice. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to resize this. And I'm going to multiply the dimensions by 2. So instead of 200, it's 400. And instead of 50 in height, I'm going to make it 100 in height. Resize, it's going to open up in a new tab. And what I'm going to do right now is simply, I'm going to go and download this with a transparent background. Okay, so like you see, it's not really complicated. And let's go back over here. Let me upload file. And let me select the file that I want to upload by clicking on downloads. Let me go to my logo. There it is. Right, so where is it? Right here. Let me click on it and I can just wait for a second over here. You can even give it an alt text. Like I said, it's always useful to say what the logo is about. And if I scroll down over here, we have the header logo for dark mode and the header logo Retina for dark mode. Now we're going to make these logos white and we're going to use them for the dark mode. Now let's start with the Retina one. I'm going to click here and change the color to white for this. And I'm going to also whiten this one. This might sound a little weird because nothing appears here, but it's going to appear once we download this with a transparent background. And let me show you what I'm talking about in a second. So if I open this up, we can see our logo, right? Movie Bay. It's a little tricky, isn't it? So I'm going to click on Retina logo here because in dark mode, when the screen is dark, this logo is the best one to show, right? Some people prefer to use their browsers on dark mode, and this logo is preferable to add for them because if you add the other logo because the word bay is black, it might not show when people are using dark mode, okay? So I'm going to go and do the same thing I did for the normal logo. I'm going to resize this to 200 by 50. That's it, and I'm just going to download it. I don't need to do anything else. It's a pretty smart way to work. And so let me just wait a second here. Click on share, scroll down, download, transparent background, and then download. So right now, let me go here. Let me click on this logo. I'm going to go to the upload files, select files. Let me go over here. I've just downloaded my logo, so it should be no problem. Let me click on it and select it. Okay, pretty cool. Choose, there you go. Now, we're not done yet because I'm going to have to still scroll down. Now, for the sticky menu, there's no reason for you to show any logo because the sticky menu doesn't display a logo, so I'm just going to remove this. But for the mobile, I want you to display a logo, right? So this is mobile device logo. I'm going to click on this image, and I'm going to change it to this one. And for mobile device retina logo, I'm going to change it to this one. And for mobile also, there's a dark mode. So we're going to use the dark mode logo for mobile as well. So this is just basic stuff, guys. Right? And that's it. So right now, if I click on mobile view, for instance, you can see that on mobile view, it's not really looking pretty cool, isn't it? Because the background here is red, so we might just as well use the same dark mode logo for mobile, even though it's light, but let's just use the same one. And I think this will give a better vibe. Yeah, I think it's much better. Let's go to tablet. Even on tablet, it looks better, but on desktop, it looks like this. And that's pretty cool. So right now that we have created the logo and designed the logo, you can manipulate the top bar menu by clicking over here. Now, you can manipulate these colors. So for instance here, we can change the text color to, instead of black, we can change it to blue if you want to. I have to click back. So over here, you can see that the links have changed to blue. Now they don't look really cool, so I'm going to get it back to black. Menu hover color. Let's not change that. Submenu background. Now the submenu background is the background of this submenu. We better keep it red. Oh, not red. We better keep it white. And in fact, we better keep everything like it is because anything else we do, it will just ruin the stuff. And over here, social icons. This is interesting because you can control the social icons background color. So for instance, let's say that you don't like this color, you want to change it to blue, you can do that. Right now, the social icons are going to display in blue, and you can manipulate the icon color itself if you want to make it red. Now, I prefer that to be blue, white, so I'm going to keep it white. And here, header date, header search icon. This is the search icon. You can actually click on the header search icon. I'm thinking of making it black, right? Header search icon. Background color. Right, so here we have, now this is a search form. Where's the search icon? I don't see it there because we actually are not using it, all right? So if I click on the search icon here, let me click on it directly from here. Now, search form instead. And I want to change this to black, all right? So search input background color, search input border color, search icon color. So I'm going to click on the search icon color. It's already black actually, so right. If I click emphasize, right now it's darker and it looks better. So I'm going to publish, go out of this. And the other stuff, let's see what we can do more. Now there's nothing really more here. Now let's click on sticky header over here because you can enable the sticky header. Now the header will actually follow people as they scroll down. Now there are different types of sticky headers. There's a header that follows you when you scroll up. there's a header that follows you when you scroll down, and there's a header that always follows you, like your shadow. So that's the one that we're interested in. So I'm going to add a header that will always follow people. So if people are scrolling down, the header follows them. If people are scrolling up, the header is also following them. Now, unfortunately here, I think there's a technical issue with the header because it displays in white. It doesn't display the menu for some reason. So I'm going to add no follow for now because I think there's a bit of a technical issue with the sticky header. Maybe I'm going to report this to the theme creators because I think that they have to have this looked at. And so right now, let me click out Jnews footer option. So right now, let's go ahead and edit the footer. So let's click the X button. The footer is what we need to edit. Now, you can change the background of the footer. You can change the color, the text color here. But I'm going to be more interested in just changing the social icons color. Apart from that, I think everything else is pretty good. And yeah, so let's go ahead to the social or to the footer option. So here, let's go ahead and modify the website footer. Now, this is the footer over here. And so I'm going to click on Jnews footer option. So let's first of all have a look at the footer layout. Now, the footer layout that we're using right now is this one over here, style number 3. But you can definitely use a different footer layout. Now, you have over here 7 layouts. And you also have the option of making your own footer. So you can customize your footer according to what you like best. Now, let's say, for example, that you change from footer style number 3 to style number 1. Let's have a look at how this is going to change stuff. Not really so much, but you can see that it quite changed it a little bit. And in my opinion, I would just prefer this one here. I think it's pretty cool. And so I'm going to go back and make sure that you always publish. Now over here, you have the footer option. So I'm going to click on the footer option there. And let's go ahead right now. So here, if you want to show the secondary menu, you can show it. Now, if I uncheck this, you'll notice that the secondary menu is going to disappear. But if I click back, the secondary menu is going to appear. Now, the position of the secondary menu here, or menu position on secondary footer, is on the right-hand side right here. Now, let's say you want to hide it. You can click on hide. And right now, that footer menu is not going to appear. But you can place it left next to the copyright. And it will be placed here. Or you can place it right, which I highly prefer that. Now, here is social position. You can also manipulate the social position on secondary footer. Now, over here, they're saying hide because we already have social icons on the main footer. And so, but if you show them, we're going to have 2 social elements right here as well. You can decide to keep it if you want. I'm going to keep it for now. Right, so over here, the footer style, you can control the background color of the footer. Now, let's say, for example, we want to change the background color of this. We want to make it red. We can do that. But I don't really fancy this color, so I'm going to get it back to this. Now, we've changed it to white, and white as well is not really well because the background color of the entire website is white. And so right now, people are not going to be able to make up which is the footer and which is the website. So I'm going to go and maybe just slightly give a little bit of red color to this. Just a slight red color, not so much. I think this one is pretty good, even though it looks a little girly, but I'm going to keep it that way, right? So here, because the color here is red, now maybe I'm going to give it just a little bit of red, more red nuance to it, kind of like this. I think this is pretty cool, so I'm going to keep it. And if I scroll down over here, link hover color, widget title color. Now I can change the widget title instead of red to maybe blue, like this, or dark blue, like this. Now the text color over here is set to black. I can click to force it to be darker, like this. Now link color, link hover color, button background color. Now the button background color is set for this grayish color. And the button text color, I'm going to set it up to be kind of bluish, like this. And let me scroll down here, widget tag. All that stuff is not really important. Now, the line separator, by the way, is set to white. You can control it to maybe make it red if you want. But I'm just going to get it back to white because I think the white color looks good on this. The copyright color, on the other hand, doesn't really appear because it's set to gray. So I'm going to go and set it up to black, right? Because I want it to appear. Copyright color, I click on the black color over here. So right now, this is perfect. Menu text color, this is the menu we're talking about here. Now, I can keep it like this because it has a pretty good hover effect, but I'm thinking of changing this to black and then taking the menu hover text and changing it to blue so that when people hover over this, it's going to look blue, but it looks black without hover. Social icon hover. Now let me take a look at these social icons. Now these are in blue, so it only makes sense if we make these social icons blue on hover, right? Or not on hover, actually just the color without hover. Let's make them like this. And on hover, let me give it a different color. So I'm going to go and take this blue. I'm just going to make it less light, right? So I'm going to click on it here. Click. And let me make it lighter so that when people hover, they can notice that this is a this is a hover effect. All right, so I think this is pretty cool, right? We've done some pretty good changes here. You can notice that even these icons have changed the color to match the social icons at the top, which is pretty awesome. And so I'm going to click out of here. So right now the footer is set. Let's go ahead and let's go inside now. Let's go inside the post. And I'm going to show you how you can add advertisements inside of the post and how you can add related posts, how you can add related posts inside of the post. And that is that. So let's go and do this, right? Now, I'm going to click single post option. Now, normally you need to make sure that you are inside of a post. And the beautiful part is that if you modify a single post, what's going to happen is this is going to be the same thing for all posts. So if you decide to show an ad after paragraph number 3 on this post, that is going to be applied to all the posts in the website, which is the best thing about this is that you don't have to do the work for as many blog posts as you have, which is, it was going to be a pretty awful thing because just imagine if you had to do the work for 30 posts, that would be terrible. But this theme actually is beautiful in this sense because you don't have to do the work, you know, for all posts. You just have to do it for a particular number of posts and that's it. All right, so here we are inside of the post. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to show you around. So what do they mean by breadcrumb setting? Now, if I click breadcrumb setting, I'm pretty sure that the breadcrumb is allowed. And so the breadcrumb is actually this: action, movie, serial review. So this shows you exactly where this movie is categorized. Normally, this should be shown as slash, normally. But here, it's shown like this. Now, for this particular demo website that we've imported, it's a little different. But breadcrumbs are pretty good for SEO because they tell Google exactly what they can expect from this post. And so activating breadcrumbs will really be a good SEO practice that I highly recommend you to do because it points Google down the good route to classify this article. Now, you can decide to disallow or not to show breadcrumbs on your website. Now, and also here you can see that we can show breadcrumbs on category page, on search results, on the author page, on archives page. We can show them on all pretty much pages. Now over here, I can click hide breadcrumb and this will override all that, but I'm going to click Jnews native breadcrumb and just publish. So I'm going to go out. Now the single post option, let me click there and let me show you the options. So the post here is displayed like this. So we have a post right here on the left-hand side and we have a sidebar. Now believe me when I tell you that this sidebar over here is not so easy to achieve with a free theme. But anyways, this is the template. Let's say that you want to choose a different template. You have multiple templates over here. So here, the template that we're using is this one, the video template. And the reason why we're using the video template is because, or the reason why the video template is used in the first place is because the video template allows you to put videos in your blog or in your post. That way people can not only see the image or the featured image, but if you have some videos, you can put them at the top. And so when they enter, they can see those videos. And that's ideal for a movie blogging website because you're posting movie reviews, you're posting movie scenes. And so you need to make sure that you have that option to put a video on the top of a video or on the top of a post. I'm sorry. Now, you can change that if you want. If you don't want to display videos, you can put it, for example, like this. You can change this to template number 2. And notice that a small change is going to happen. And right now, you wouldn't be able to display videos at the top, right? But I'm going to go back to template number 7, I think, because that's the one, or template number 8. Let's choose template number 8. And let me scroll down over here, right? Now notice that you can also customize your blog post layout to according to what you want. But in here, I'm just gonna keep it like that. So here you can decide where you want to put your sidebar. Over here, we've decided to put the sidebar on the right-hand side, or they've decided to put the sidebar on the right-hand side, but you can decide to put it whatever you want. Let's say, for example, you want to put it on the left. You can click left sidebar. And in this instance, the sidebar will be placed on the left-hand side, right? Like this. Now, I highly recommend you to put it on the right-hand side because people are used to the sidebar being displayed on the right-hand side and not on the left-hand side. And so I just recommend you to go with right sidebar. Now over here, you can even display the sidebar in two ways, or in two places at once, or two sides at once. Now, if I click double sidebar, notice what's going to happen. Right now, we're going to have a double sidebar, right? It's not showing for some reason. All right, so let me zoom out and see. Now, normally that should have appeared, but it doesn't appear for some reason. Right, let me just zoom to 75% here. Let me click again on double sidebar. It's not displaying still for some reason. And so let me try with double right sidebar. So right now, I think we're going to see two sidebars on one side, right? That's exactly what we're seeing. But we're having trouble with the double sidebar for some reason. It's not showing as it should be. Let me just do one last try. All right, now it's showing. Okay, finally. All right, so before we clicked it, but it didn't show. But right now it shows, so problem solved. Okay, so I think it's just a glitch or something. So over here, you can see that the post is in the middle, and we have two sidebars. Now, this is a way for you to maximize money that you can make from ad revenue, but it's not really good, isn't it? Because you can see the text cramped up in the middle. People are going to find it very difficult to read through your text. And it's not really cool to show it that way. So that's why I'm going to go for the first layout, which is right sidebar, only showing one sidebar, the right-hand side. And I think that would be perfect. Now here, single post sidebar. Choose your single post sidebar. So over here, I'm going to click on single post and single post sticky sidebar. So for example, here, when I'm just scrolling down, you can see that the sidebar is sticky, meaning that the sidebar doesn't disappear. It follows me around. Now, if I enable or if I disable this sticky sidebar, what's going to happen is when I'm scrolling down, the sidebar is not going to follow me. And so the sidebar is going to stay fixed at its place. But if I activate it once more, notice what's going to happen is the sidebar is going to follow us. It's going to shadow us. So that's called shadowing. And that's better because you want to display your ads as much as possible to make money from ad revenue, or to maximize the potential to making money from ad revenue. And you also want to maximize the time that people can see your recent posts, because that also will increase the possibility that they might click on another link and go and read something about another movie. Maybe they're reading something about Batman versus Superman, but if they scroll down, some title catches their eye, which is, for example, Game of Thrones, the 10 Burning Questions, and they might just click on that, and you make more money. Anyways, if you keep people on your website, the more you keep them on your website, the better, all right? So the more they read stuff on your website, the better. And if you're using Google AdSense, you're getting paid by ads. And so the more people spend on your website watching ads, the more valuable your audience is going to be, because advertising, or because Google is going to say, well, this website has a pretty good bounce rate. And bounce rate, by the way, is the percentage of people that leave your website. If the bounce rate of your website is low, let's say, for example, you have 30% bounce rate, which is very ideal because most websites have 40% plus. And so even if you're one of the biggest brands, you're going to still have a 40% plus bounce rate, which is great because 60% get to stay on your website and watch more and read more. But if you maintain, or if your website has a good potential, and if it maintains people reading stuff and maintains their interest, then your traffic is going to be all too valuable, and Google is going to really pay you better. And you're going to be paid better for the ads that are displayed on your website, as opposed to crappy websites that people leave from the moment they click on. Those kind of websites don't really make too much money from ad revenue, and they're mostly focused on CPA, which means that they will bait you into clicking on links, and they will show you all kinds of pop-ups, and they will harass you into clicking a link, then another, then another. And most of these websites are really movie websites, movie streaming websites for that matter. If you ever watched movies, or if you've ever searched for a specific movie that you didn't want to pay for on Netflix, for example, then you'd notice that these guys are using this exact same tactic that I'm teaching you over here, which is a black hat tactic, but they're putting a lot of links and a lot of pop-ups, and these pop-ups are triggered by just about anything you do on the website. So even if you click here on the right sidebar, a pop-up will be generated and they will force you to click on it, and that's how they make their money. And basically these guys, they can get 30 clicks from one user, sometimes even more if the user is really desperate on watching a movie. And that's how they make money, because they're getting paid from clicks. They're getting paid by 1,000 clicks. That's what CPA is. Now over here, if I scroll down here, there's a single post element. Now I can decide to either show the featured image. Now the featured image is this image right here at the top. Now if you want to show it, you can show it. If you want to not show it, you can click in disable, and it will be disabled. Now here, if I disable it from here, now it's not working because I think this image is inserted inside. But anyways, over here, you can decide not to show post meta. Now the post meta are these information over here, but I'm just going to show them, right? I prefer to show them, but you can decide not to show them. Now, as far as the author is concerned, I'm not really interested to showing who this post was written by, but let's say you want to give credit when credit is due to a specific author that wrote a blog on your website, then you can do that by simply showing their name, and you can add a link, or you can create a page around that specific author so that when people click on this link, right, like this, they'll be taken to the author's bio. And so that is pretty good because so many copywriters actually demand that. And I was one of them actually. I used to demand that I have a profile on the particularly on the website, because I want people to find me. I want to be found, because I'm not making money from one client. That's back in the days when I was really making some good money copywriting, but that's really lost now. The moment Chatgpt was created, copywriting really, I would say, that's a big claim for me to say, but copywriting really dropped a lot, and my clients have left me. But anyways, over here, you can show the post author image, which would be cringy, but you can decide to show that if you want. Now, if I scroll down over here, you can disable, or you can enable reading time. So reading time is how much is it going to take for someone to read this particular post. Now you can click on here, and what's going to happen is it's going to display how much time it is estimated for people to read this post. Now here, it is estimating that a person might read 300 words per minute, which is, in my opinion, not so real, because trust me, who does read 300 words per minute? If there's a person that can read 300 words per minute, then that person is really a genius. I'm just saying, because I think the best of us can really do 200, maybe. So I'm going to set it up to 200, and right now the reading time jumped from 4 minutes to 5 minutes. Now here you can show the zoom button, and the zoom button will allow people to zoom in, but I prefer not to show it. And let me scroll down over here. Now you can show the post tags. Now at the bottom here, notice that we have some post tags. And I've actually explained to you how you can add tags on your website. Now over here, you can show previous or next post. Now, if you want to disable that, right now, it's not going to show the previous or the next post. And if I scroll down over here, show reading progress bar, which is pretty useful because it shows people where they are, right? Or how much is it really left before they complete the blog post. And so just show that. Now here you can decide where you want to show the bar position. I'm going to show it at the top, right? Let me scroll down over here. Now let me scroll down over here, force normal load. Now all that stuff is not really interesting, so I'm going to go out. And then let's click on the related posts option because we need to put some related posts. Now over here, pay careful attention to me. Right now, we can show the post related posts. Now this will be enabled below the posts over here on this side. And let me click enable. And so right now, notice what's going to happen is some related posts are going to show. Now you can change this layout to what you want. For example, if we scroll down over here, we have this layout. I'm going to keep it. But you can choose, for example, this particular layout over here. And you can scroll down at the bottom. You can decide to show no pagination, which I'm not going to do. I'm going to show next and previous. So at the bottom of this, it's going to show next and previous. And you can show some other kind of pagination style like load more. I'm going to keep it classic, show next and previous. Here you can decide on how many posts you want to show. So here we've decided it's 6, but you can make it 4, for example. And so right now only 4 posts are going to be displayed. You can make it even up until 10, right? So it's up to you. It's up to you how many posts you want to show. But really, I want to display 6. Now over here, include into unique content group. That's not really interesting. Auto load limit, not really interesting as well. But here, what's interesting is controlling this. Now right here, they have selected this module. And if you notice, this is exactly how this is displayed over here. But you can change it. For example, if you choose model number or module number 8, this is how it's going to display the related posts. Now, I much prefer this one over here with the text inside, a little bit inside of the text or inside of the image. So I'm going to keep it like this. And I'm going to scroll down over here. Now, the excerpt is the text that they would show. Now, because we've chosen this layout, it doesn't display. But if I go back, for example, over here, let me just scroll down and go to the top here. Let's choose module number 9. And let me show you what excerpt is. Right, so let's scroll down. Let me, for example, say the excerpt length is 100. Now, normally it doesn't display, but the excerpt is this text right here, right? That displays, but let's change it maybe to 20, back to 20. Now, it doesn't display, but, right, so let's just ignore that. Now, let me scroll over here down to the bottom, and let me click on Show Inline Post Content, now, or Post Related. Now, when we show inline post related, what it's going to do is it's going to show a related post section inside of the content. So what I want to do over here is I want to go and I want to make it full width, because right now you can see it's a little cramped up and it's inside the content. People are not going to be able to understand what this is all about. So I'm going to make it full width. And right now it's gone full width. Now I can control when to show the inline related posts. Now here it is shown on the second paragraph, which I believe is a little too early to show the related posts. That is why I'm going to make it up until paragraph number 6. I think that is in the middle of a post, and that's pretty good. Now here you can decide to show it at random place, but let's not do it at random. Over here you can see related post filter. We filter by category, but you can filter by tag. I'm going to leave it at category, and here don't really get interested into this style because it doesn't really change much, but I want you to scroll down over here and you can control how many posts you can load up here. So for instance, here, I'm going to make it 6 and I'm going to scroll down over here and I'm going to choose this module number 21 with images and the title. I think this one is pretty cool. So right now you can see that our blog is pretty cool, right? So people scroll down, they can see the stuff, the related posts. At the bottom, they also can see related posts. And if I scroll down over here, some more, I don't see anything more here. So I'm just going to click on publish, go out. And for the rest of the stuff, you can go and explore it. I'm going to explore the following video with you. So for example, if you have a video that you've added at the top of a post, if you enable following video on single post, what's going to happen is when you scroll down, the video is going to follow you, right? But since we have no video for this post, I'm not going to enable it. And even if you do have a video, there's no reason for you to keep a video following people around. So you need to leave people the liberty of choosing what they want to see. Now over here, we've finished with, or we've wrapped up with the single post option. Let me go ahead and take you to the Jnews social like and view option before we can move on to the advertisement option. All right, so let's go ahead and click on the social like and view, right? Now over here, we can fake stuff, right? We can say that 10,000 people liked our post, even though it might be that only 0 people liked our post. And let me show you how. Now I'm going to click on social bar, view, and like. Now, based on this, they're going to show a like, a dislike, and a number of comments. Now, if I scroll down over here, the main share or the main shares are displayed over here on the left-hand side. You can see that we have 5. And on these 5, we have Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Pinterest, LinkedIn. Now, if you click here, there's Facebook. And what it's going to do when people click on this, they can share this on Facebook. And the second one is Twitter, but you can order them in whichever way you see fit. So I can take this one, put it at the top. And so right now what's going to happen is that Twitter is going to be at the top, on top of Facebook. And you can rearrange this stuff however you see fit, right? You have the perfect liberty to do that. Okay. Now, if I scroll down over here, secondary share is this little button over here. And over here, they're only showing WeChat, but you can add more on the secondary share. And secondary share is just not to make this list, or it's put in place in order not to make this list extensively long, okay? So, but you can put as many social icons here as you like. You can add, for example, if you click here, you can add Telegram. And so when people click on this, they will have the option to also share your post on Telegram and on WeChat if they so desire. You can't see it from here because we're accessing this from Customizer view. But if you go to the page or the single post page as a visitor, you can actually click on it. And we're going to do that early on. Now, over here, social share threshold. Now, they're not showing the social shares for some reason over here. Let me just scroll down and see some more. Initial view counter, they're also not showing the view counter, but they are showing the number of likes, right? The number of likes is based on the view counter. So for example, if I increase this view counter to maybe 10,000, what's going to happen over here is the number or the percentage, like-based percentage on view. So if I change this up to maybe 26 and then I change it back to 18%, right now it's going to function, right? Right, let's just change it to 19%. All right, so now because we have this initial view count as 10,000, and we've made the like percentage to be 17% of that, it just took 10,000 and multiplied it by the percentage of likes based on view from here. Now you can manipulate all of this stuff and you can make yourself very likable so that people can say, oh my God, this post was viewed by 10,000 people. Let me go and view it. So that's a marketing effect. Some people might consider that spamming or might consider that illegal or unethical. It's not illegal, but some people might say it's unethical. But it's up to you to do that if you'd like. Now, in my case, I'm not going to tell you exactly what I'm going to do, but you can do whatever you want. I mean, it's your life. Now I'm going to click on publish, go out. Now over here, if I click on social icon, now we have the social icon Facebook. Now at the top, let me go to the top. These are the social icons that we have, including the RSS, which I want to take the liberty to explain to you what an RSS is. And basically the RSS is none other than a link that people can click on and they can actually subscribe and they will be able to receive news about your website. Because let's say, for example, they visited your website and they want your website to stay up there with the websites that they have the RSS of, and that they want to get more about you. Now they'll subscribe to your RSS and they will get feedback, right? They will get feedback on their browser whenever you publish something new. So it's always good to put the RSS right there. Now over here, you can click on the social icon, for example, Facebook. Now over here, the link that we've added is facebook.com, which is the URL of Facebook itself. But for instance, let's say you want to add your own link, because that's what you should add at the end of the day. You should add the link either to your Facebook page or your Facebook group, and you can add it there so that when people click, they will go to that link that you want them to go to. So make sure here that you control the links to the social networks that you want to take people to by using these links. Now, what you apply here will apply for these ones as well, because they're just the same. And so let me just scroll up over here. Social, select, and share. This is not really very difficult, because here you have one button. You can either enable people just to share and select, or you can disable this option. And so in this instance, people are not going to be able to share and, interact with your posts. I would like to keep it like this, enabled. And let me scroll down, social meta settings. Now here you can control the social meta settings. Let me go to social login settings. Now social login is enabling people to log in. show social login. Now here it's hidden by default, but you can make it registration only, show on both, or hide. I prefer it to be hide because I want to enable everyone to share this post without having to create an account on my website. Because if you force people to create an account, they might just as well not share your post. And so I leave the perfect liberty to them to do whatever they like. Like button settings, so click on it. Now here we have like and dislike, but if you're a dictator, you can only show likes. For example, let's say you don't like to show the dislikes. You can decide to only show likes, or you can decide to hide everything. In this instance, no dislikes or likes are going to be shown. In my case, I'm a very democratic person, so I'm going to click on like plus dislike because I want to show the people that like me and the people that don't like me, right? And besides here, we have 1,700 people liking us, so it's only obvious that we're handsome. So right now we're done with the social like and view option. So let's go ahead to what we call the advertisement option so that we can place some ads on our website. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that in a couple of minutes. So stay tuned for that, and let's go and click on advertisement option. Let me first of all click on the link here or on the logo to go back to the menu or to go back to the landing page of this website. And we're going to place a lot of ads over here. We're going to do just the same as these bros do on these movie websites. And we're going to bombard the website with ads. I'm just kidding. But we're going to put ads on decent places so that we can maximize our ad revenue because we're not running a charity here. It's important that we make money. And so therefore, it's only logical for us to place some ads because that's how we make our money, right? And that's why we've created the blog in the first place. Now you can also make money from affiliate revenue, and I will show you how in a couple of seconds. Stay tuned, please, and do not get distracted. Go get yourself a cup of coffee because the night is still long, and we're going to have a big or long discussion before this is over. So first things first, I want to show a big ad that stands out at the top over here, just like we've done here. But the question is, how can I make money from this ad? Well, the answer to that is when people click on the ad, for instance, I've just clicked on it right now, you can see my affiliate link right there with my name. And so if people come to this website and if they purchase something, you'll make a commission during that cookie period. Now with Merch Titans, their cookie period, I would assume, according to what I can remember if I'm correct, is 60 days. Meaning that if someone purchases a Merch Titans plan during those 60 days, I'll make a commission, all right? I'll make a commission. The commission is 20%. It's not really big because these plans are usually not that expensive. But I make a commission, which is 20%. Every time somebody clicks on my link, goes there, and after or during 60-day period purchases a product, assuming that that person didn't clear the cache or remove the cookies from their computer, because the thing here about affiliate marketing and the tricky thing is that if people constantly delete their cookies, what's going to happen is you're not going to make a commission because that cookie is no longer installed on the computer of the person who's clicked on your link, and you can no longer make an affiliate commission. So a lot of money actually goes to waste just because of that. But anyways, let's stay optimistic over here. And for instance, I also have this affiliate link or this banner ad over here that people will click on. And if they click on and go and purchase, for example, if I click, this will take me to Bluehost. This is my affiliate link. And so if somebody comes in here and purchases hosting through Bluehost, I'll make a commission from that. But anyways, I'll show you guys how to do this. And I'll also show you how to integrate ads inside of the content, because it's only logical to integrate ads inside the content as well, and not just in the landing page, because most of the times people are not going to be just looking on the page, on the landing page. They're going to be looking for blogs to read. And so it's important to place ads inside of the blog, like this, for example. If I scroll down, you can see some ads inside of the blog at the bottom everywhere. So ads are shadowing this person. So for example, if they click this, they'll go to Envato Market, Theme Forest. And if they purchase a theme through my link, I'll make a commission during 30 days, which is the cookie duration for Envato Market. But I can show you how to do this very easily with a couple of clicks. So now that you know what you're up to, let's go over to our main website. And let me click on header ads. Make sure that you are clicking on advertisement, Jnews advertisement, go click on header ads. Now what I want to do, I want to enable an ad at the top, on top of the menu here, or of the main menu. So I'm going to click enable above header advertisement, but still I'm not done yet because we haven't really pasted anything, so nothing can show. Now over here, pay careful attention. You have 4 options. You can either show image ads, Google ads, which is AdSense, and normally if you're a member, or if you're Google approved by Google AdSense, they will give you a short code that you can come and you can paste over here. But we're not going to see that here. We're going to explore the image ads as well as the script code. The difference between image ads and script code is that for image ads, you need to go and add an image, a banner, for example. So this one here, if I take you here, this one is a banner. And so this normally will be given to you by the affiliate network that you're affiliated to. So if you're a Bluehost affiliate, through a network called App Impact, which is where they manage their affiliate program, they will give you creatives. They will give you all sorts of banner ads, sidebar ads. They will give you all sorts of ads, like this one, for example, this one here, and this one, right? All of these are ads that they will give you. And what you're going to do is you can download that image and place it right here by clicking on select image, and you can place your image. Now, for this particular instance, I'm going to place a script code. How do I get a script code? Well, you have to log into your affiliate network or to where you're affiliated at. And right here, I'm an affiliate with Merge Titans Automation. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go to Merge Titans Automation, and I'm going to take this script code. Now, the beautiful part about script code is that they contain your affiliate link, which means that if people click on that banner, you will be rewarded if they make a purchase without having to put any affiliate link. So here, I only have to place the script code, and right now the ad is going to be displayed at the top. Now, I see that there is no distance between the top bar and the ad. It looks a little bit cramped up. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to click show above header advertisement text. So it's going to show a advertisement text over here, just enough to separate this from the bottom. And I'm going to scroll down just a little bit over here. And what I want to do here, I can actually enable more ads. So let me just scroll down, enable header advertisement. Now the header advertisement is ads that you can display here on the menu. Remember when I showed you that you can take elements and drag and drop them? But since this menu is a little small, you can't take an ad and display on this little small distance or small surface over here. So it's only logical for us to display ads under the menu. So I'm going to scroll down over here, scroll down some more. Enable below header advertisement. This is what we're more interested in. So I'm going to click enable. And what's going to happen over here is that they're going to enable some ads, but nothing is showing because we haven't really added anything here. So I'm going to go for image ads in this instance, and I'm going to go to App Impact. Now over here on App Impact, I'm affiliated with networks such as Envato Market, Bluehost, Nexus. So I'm going to choose, for example, Envato Market. I'm going to click on View Ads. This will take me to my creatives, and these creatives are given to me by Envato Market. This is what they give their affiliates in order to promote their ads. And so I'm going to go for a banner ad because it's only logical to use a banner ad. I'm going to go for this one over here because this is larger, 970 by 90. And you can either take the ad code, which is the script code, or you can download an image. Because I've already shown you how you can use the ad code and incorporate an ad code. This time I'm going to change it and I'm going to go for image. So I actually went ahead and downloaded the image. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back over here. Make sure that you've clicked on image ads and you are on the right place. And click here, select image. And I'm going to go to my computer here. And very simply, I'm just going to drag and drop, or I'm going to upload the image or the banner ad that we just got. So let me go over here. I'm going to select this one here and add. That will be it. And that's it. So we've the banner, let's click it. And so right now it's going to display wondrously. Now I can scroll down over here and I can show below, right, header text, right? Because I need to separate this a little bit. And you can see that we have this ad. But the problem is if I click this, it's not going to take me anywhere because this is just an image. It doesn't have a link. So how do I get a link? or how do I, or where do I place a link in the first place? Now that I have a link, where do I go and place a link? The answer to that is very easy. You can see over here below header advertisement link, and this is where you will place your affiliate link. Now, because I already have the affiliate link over here, so I can just simply go out. And actually, this is my affiliate link. So if I click over here, copy, and if I go back over here, I copied my affiliate link and I can paste it here. So right now, if any time a person clicks on this, they'll be taken to the website, and if they purchase something there in the period of 30 days or during the time frame of 30 days, I make a commission. The only issue is that when they click, this won't open in a new tab. It will actually open up in the website, and there's a potential that they might quit my website. So what I'm going to do is every time someone clicks on this, I want to enable this to open in a new tab so that my website will still be opened, but they can perfectly see this on a different tab, right? So I think we're done here with header ads. So let's go out and let's go now to article ads, which is the only thing we're going to see before we close with the subject of placing advertisement on the website. And over here, I need to click on an article because we need to see inside of the article to show you kind of what I'm talking about here. Now here, enable above article advertisement is actually displayed. Now I'm not going to touch anything there. I'm going to scroll down. And I'm interested in above article open in a new tab. Let me just scroll down. Enable top content advertisement. This is what I'm interested in. Now what this is going to do is it's going to display an ad at the top here. So I'm going to click enable. And so right now it is displaying an ad only. We don't have a script or an image. So I'm going to go for script code this time. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to choose, for example, Liquid Web. I'm going to view the ads that they give me over there. I'm going to go and get a code and paste it there. So I'm going to come here to all my creatives that they give me. I'm going to go to images. Now this one, for example, let's go for this particular one. Let's say maybe that you want to use this one because it's a little smaller. I'm going to go with this one. And I'm going to go for the ad code. I'm going to copy the ad code. Like I said, you don't really need to add any link because your affiliate link is integrated with the script code. And so right now what's going to happen is a small ad is going to appear. Only it's cramped up with the text, so I have a solution for that. I'm going to show the top content inline advertisement text to kind of add a little bit of a separation there. And you can see that my ad was displayed. I can scroll down over here. And what I can do even more is I can display ads inline. Now over here, we've already enabled inline content number 1. You can disable it. It's not going to change anything. But if you enable it, you have to add a script or an image. I'm going to go for script. And I'm going to go and fetch a script code over here of a particular ad. This time, let's choose this one over here. And let me go to ad code. I'm going to copy the code, come back, scroll down, paste my code, publish. And so now what's going to happen is an advertisement is going to be shown over here. Only the problem is that it's shown at the right-hand side. Now I want it to be centered. And I want it to be displayed after paragraph number maybe 4 or 5. Let's display it after paragraph 4. So right now you can see that we have an ad over here that people can click on. I can continue displaying ads all I want. So for example, I can display another ad. This time I want to enable it after paragraph number 13 or 12. Centered, and I can go and show advertisement link. I'm going to do the same with this one as well. Show advertisement link. And I'm going to go and get a script code. Right, so let me go out here. Now let's say, for example, that I want to add this particular script code. I can click on it, add code. I can copy the ad code, come back, scroll down, and paste. Right now, my content is filled with ads, right, all the way through. Even here, you can see this ad that we've just added. And I can also keep scrolling down, and I can add more ads. Now, you're only allowed to add 3 ads inside the content, which is only logical because if they allow you to add as many ads as you want, then this website might just as well be called the ads blog, which is not really what you want your website to be like. You want your website to have content after all. So I'm going to scroll down over here. If you enable inline content parallax, it's actually going to take a huge space. So because it's an ad that takes a huge space, and so it's going to add up a huge space or a huge gap inside of your blog. You can see that the gap was added. And this is only useful if you have a big ad that stands out, or maybe if you want to show a newsletter sign up ad or something. But I'm just going to disable this. Let me scroll down over here. Enable bottom content advertising. It's all already enabled. So I'm going to go for script code. I'm going to get a big banner ad this time. Let's go, for example, with this one maybe. I'm going to go to add code. Now, there is a bug here. Let me click back. Still the bug. Let's go and find something else. All right, so let me go and find another banner. Maybe this one. Right, it's not working for some reason. Maybe I have to refresh the page. Let me click on this one here. Add code, copy, go out, scroll down, paste, show advertisement text. And if I scroll down over here, you can see that we have an ad at the bottom of the content, right? And I can also add an ad at the bottom footer. So I can scroll down some more, enable below article advertisement, and this will enable below article advertisement. And I can come in here and I can show the same ad here as well. So it depends on which affiliate networks you're affiliated with, but if you're going to be in the business of blogging about movies, then it's preferable to go and look for ads that are about, or for affiliate programs that are about movies, if you know what I mean. So go and find those, because those are going to be the most lucrative, because after all, you're writing about movies. And so if somebody might be reading about a specific movie, you might open up the desire for them to go and subscribe to Netflix or to some sort of website where they can basically, purchase that website for a membership. Even though I said that basically that Netflix doesn't accept advertisers or doesn't have an affiliate program anymore, but you can actually go for a lot of other networks. And over here, if I just load this back, you have a lot of networks like Amazon Prime Video. You can promote Amazon Prime Video. You can promote Hulu, CBS All Access, Dish Network, Sling. So you have a whole host of movie affiliate programs that you can actually promote. So there's no shortage of that. I'm going to click publish. And so right now the ads are placed exactly where we want them to be. Now over here, category ads. Not really interesting because nobody's going to go and explore the categories. It's not lucrative, but you can display ads on categories. Now, site feed, we don't really have a site feed because it's disabled, so there's no reason for us to go there. Global ads, on the other hand, let's go and check it out. And here, enable above footer advertisement. We've already done that. Archives, not really interesting. And here for the movie or mobile ads. Now, you can enable mobile ads. If you click enable page level ads and click on publish. And so I think this is pretty cool. So let's go and have a look at how the website looks like on mobile by clicking the mobile view. I think it looks pretty interesting. And you can see that the ads are also displayed here on mobile, right inside the content. So that's pretty awesome that we have that. And it's a good way to monetize your blog if you want to know how to monetize your blog. So right now that we have finished with the advertisement section, let me go ahead and take you through a quick walk of the fonts. Before we can move on, let me show you how to write an SEO optimized article from scratch and connect your account or connect your website with Google Analytics and Google Search Console. Right, so over here, let's go ahead to fonts. Now we have global fonts. If you click on the global fonts, you can control the fonts on the content of your website. Now over here, we have the fonts all set to Roboto condensed. But you can control this, okay? So you can control this to whatever you want. You can also control the text size. So for example, let's say that you want to modify the font of the content of the blog, right? You can do that, right? Just follow my lead. Now, if I scroll down over here, this is the text. Right now it is set to Roboto. Let's say I want to set it up to be Montserrat. Let me search for, first of all, if Montserrat is here, because sometimes fonts not all available. And you can see that right now, the text has changed to Montserrat. The body font has changed to Montserrat. If I go back and change this to Roboto, what's going to happen is it's going to change back to Roboto. Notice that we're talking only about this text right here. Now, I can change the font size as well. I can make this to be 50, in which case you can see that this has grown very large. And I can get it back to its original size by simply clicking or by simply deleting that. Now I can manipulate the color of the text. Now here, header font. Header font is the font of this header over here. It is set to be Roboto condensed, but you can change it to whatever font you want. It is set to 18 pixels. You can set it to whatever you want. Main menu font. Now this is the menu, right? And the main menu is actually not set to a specific font, but you can set it up to be, for example, ABZ. And you can see right now, this has changed the font of the menu. Now I'm going to get it back to what it was. Right. Let me just click out here. Delete this. All right. Delete, delete, delete. And it will go back to its original font. Now you can control the size of the font of the menu. You can control the color of the text. And if I scroll down here, the post title is colored in blue. But let's say, for example, that I want to change this to another color. I can do that. I can change the font size. So in other words, here's where you can control your font. Paragraphs are these. And let's say, for example, you don't like this particular font. You want it to be in this particular font over here. You can change that. Now you can see it looks pretty awful. So I'm going to just delete this font by simply clicking out. And that's it. So this is how you control the fonts on your website. I'm going to publish, go out. And over here, if you want to add more fonts, because sometimes, like I said, in this instance, we found Montserrat, but sometimes you might not find some fonts. And so sometimes you want to import your own fonts or create your own fonts. And the way you can do this is by automatically updating Google Fonts or enabling Google Fonts, for which you have to follow this tutorial. You can click this and first of all, click on enable this. And you can see how you will add your API key there and connect to Google Font. You can add custom fonts. Now let me just go out. And I think we've pretty much covered everything there is to cover here. So let me go ahead and show you how you can get ideas for blog posts to write. So I have a website. This is a very famous website known as BuzzSumo, which you can go to. And you can get the latest celebrity news or the latest news around movies. Now this is a membership paid website, but you benefit from a 30-day free trial. And trust me when I tell you, this is absolutely amazing. This website is absolutely amazing because you can get the juiciest news out there without having to pay for anything. And like I said, you benefit from 30 days. Now, I'm going to go to the app and I want to explore. Now, I'm already logged in, I hope. And let me show you how you can find some interesting information over here. Now, when you have free trial, you'll see at the top how much is left on your free trial. Now here I'm only, there's only 18 days left for me for the free trial. I have to warn you that BuzzSumo is actually expensive if you want to go and purchase the BuzzSumo membership, but it's worth it if you're writing a lot of posts and if you're consistently writing content on your blog. But anyways, I'm going to take you over here. Let's, for example, click on Discover, click on Trending Feeds. And here it is going to display to you the trending stuff that's going on, right? So over here, there's this post about Gary Lineker. You can say it was shared 25 times on Facebook or engaged with 25 times on Facebook. This post, for example, was engaged with 3,300 times. And you can see what people are engaging with so that you can have the proper information on what people are interested in at this time. Now, the beautiful thing about this is that these information are really, really recent. Okay, so this one, for example, was published 8 hours ago. This one 9 hours ago, 2 hours ago. So you can get the juiciest news very easily. But the issue here is that how do you filter this stuff, or how do you filter what you want? Now here you can filter trending by country. So for example, let's say you want to filter only what's happening in the United States. But even so, what's going to happen is you're still going to have to use the language filter here. So I'm going to click language filter. I'm going to turn this up to English because I only want to get English stuff. Because if you don't set the filter, what's going to happen is they're going to show you content in Spanish. They're going to show you content in different languages because basically that's what the United States, there are some states that speak Spanish. And so you can come across content that's not English. But here, you can see that there is a lot of content in here. Now, this stuff is not relevant to movies, but let me show you some other stuff. Keyword tool. Now over here, I can enter some keywords like, for example, movies. And I can click on search. Right, movie recommendations. All right, let's click on this one. All right, so let me scroll down. What to watch on Netflix, top movies on Netflix, best movies on Amazon Prime. And you can see the traffic potential for these keywords. So for example here, what to watch on Netflix, you can see that there is a potential traffic of 135,000 people searching for this. The CPC is not really that high, which is basically the cost per click on, how much you're really going to spend if you want to get a click for this keyword. But you can scroll down over here. You can see some keywords that really have a decent volume and a very low CPC. So for example, this one here, you can pay $0.06 and you can get up to 8,100 people per month to visit your blog. So if I click here on classic comedy movies insights, this will take me over here. And you can see that there are already 21 articles published on this. Some of them there are questions on Quora, and here you can get some content ideas by clicking, for example, on websites. This one here, this website has written about this, and you can see pretty much that they look pretty much the same as our website, even though our website I think looks a lot better. And this content right here, the beautiful part is that we can write it using Chatgpt, so you don't really need to write this yourself. So I'm going to take this particular article and I'm going to go to Chatgpt and let's try to write something similar or even better, right? So I'm just going to take the title, just the title, and I'll prompt you to go and open up a Chatgpt window. But first of all, what I want you to do is I want you to go to Google and download a specific extension called ARPM, right? ARPM. This is the one. Now, make sure that you download this extension. And let me show you in a couple of seconds why this is interesting that you download this. Now, because I already have it downloaded, so I can only remove it. But in your case, if you didn't download it yet, you can download it. You can see that already 500,000 users are using this. So you can go and join the ranks. And so go ahead, add this and log into your Chatgpt session. Now, I have Chatgpt Plus, so if I click News, New Chat, you can see that my Chatgpt looks a little bit different than yours because I have enabled the RPM extension or APRM extension. And what this does is it gives me access to a lot of prompts that I can use. Now, over here, I have access to 1,522 prompts. Now, these prompts are changing every day, so prompts are added, prompts are removed every day, and usually the number increases. Just yesterday, I saw the number of prompts was around 1,400 and something. Right now is at 1,522. And so how do you use this? Well, you can click on a specific prompt. For example, let's say that you want to write a complete book in one click. You can click write a complete book in one click and enter the title of your book. Now, I've already copied the title of that blog. Let's say, for example, I want to write a book about the best classic comedy movies in the 90s and 50s. So I can just enter this, and right now Chatgpt is going to start executing, and it's going to write down an entire ebook for me around the topic of this, right? So chapter 1, chapter 2. So you can see it's clearly going ahead and writing an entire book. And all I have to do after it writes the book is to copy the book, repurpose it, place it on, use Canva to place it well, and just format the book and publish it on Amazon, right? And I can sell it as my own book. So this is how great this stuff is. Now over here, it's only written the chapters. So what I can do, I can just scroll down and say, keep going, because sometimes it can slow down or it can stop. And so now it is going more and writing more. And so this is just with one click, it's writing an entire ebook. Now I'm going to click on New Chat because I'm not interested in writing an ebook. I'm interested in writing an SEO blog or an SEO article. So let me go over here, fully SEO optimized article, including facts. So I'm going to click on this and I'm going to paste this and just wait for a second. And it's going to go ahead and write down the entire SEO, including the meta description and the rest of the stuff. All right, so now watch this. Watch the power of artificial intelligence in Chatgpt. So over here, you can see it has went and written an entire blog. And if I scroll down, this is perfectly written. It can even be compared to this specific blog over here. So all we'll have to do is to take the blog, and we're going to paste it, add some videos, add some basically pictures, and that's it. So I'm going to show you how you can take that and turn it into something like this. Let me go first. Just look at this. Amazing, isn't it? So let me go back to my WordPress dashboard. So I'm going to click the X button on this thing to go out. And here's how you can add a new post. Remember the Gutenberg tutorial that we've gone through at the beginning? That wasn't an accident, so I was preparing you for this. So be prepared. I'm going to go to the dashboard right now. Now you can either click add new post from here directly, or you can go to the dashboard and hover over posts, then click on add new. And this is the title that we're going to give the post. We're going to give it the title Best Classic Comedy Movies of the 1950s. Now, this is going to be the H1 for our post, right? So I'm going to just go, wait for a second here, everything is loading. And so I'm going to add my title over here, right? This is my title, this is my H1. Now for the rest, I'm just going to go ahead and copy this. Now normally this already has the tag on it, so I don't really need to tag anything or to change the tags. I think the Chatgpt has done a pretty good job, so I'm just going to paste this stuff. And so for example, if I click on this, you can see it's already set to H3 without really having to change it. But nonetheless, I can actually change this to H4 if I want. I can change this to H3, so I can change this stuff, but I advise you not to do that. Now over here, we have the content inside. So what we're going to have to go and do is we're going to go ahead and get some images. So here, this is a movie known as Some Like It Hot. So I'm going to go to Google and let's search for this specific movie. Very simply, Some Like It Hot. Never watched that movie, but let's go and search for it. And let me go for images, right? So this is a Marilyn Monroe image movie, I guess. And let's go for this picture, right? Now I can click on copy this picture. I can go back here. And I can, right underneath this, I can click on I would say that. I can just add a space and I can add my image. Right, so my image, Control V, Control C, Control V. So just copy this like this and come back here and click on Control V and paste your image in an empty space and your image is going to be added. Now we can add a caption. So the caption should be Some Like It Hot 1959. Right? So I can go back over here and I can add my caption down here. I can even make my image smaller, but I prefer not to. So I'm going to leave it at this size because I think this is pretty cool. And I think I can center this one here in the middle. Right? And you can even add a link. Right? You can even add a link to your image or from your image to a specific website or something. So, but I'm just going to keep it like this. So let's go for the second one, the 7-Year Itch. This one is also an old movie that I never watched. So let me go back. Let's search for an image about this. Let me go back here. Now, these are all Marilyn Monroe movies for some reason. Not a huge fan of Marilyn Monroe. Actually, never really watched anything of her, but... So let me just go and try to find an image. Now this one here, maybe. Let's copy. And let me go back over here and simply add a space and paste. Now you can see this image is pretty small, but I can make it bigger. So I can make it as big as I want. The only issue is that this image is not really high resolution. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to go for something else. Let's go and try to find something bigger. Something with a better resolution. Let me just wait for a second here. Maybe this one here. This is a movie poster. Let me scroll down a little bit to see if there are some other images. This one. Let's try this one. Copy. Let me go back. Right. You can see that the image is not really very high resolution, but let me just make it bigger because we need the images on our website to be particularly the same size, right? We don't want the images to be different in size than the rest. So I'm going to add my title here. The title is this, right? So it's just the caption to caption my image and make sure that people know what this image is all about. So I can click here, click on the image, add the caption at the bottom, and that's it. Now, Singing in the Rain, let's go and fetch an image for this one as well. So you can see that we kind of are doing exactly what they were doing on that blog, only it didn't really take us much time to write this down because we've used Chatgpt for that. So I think this image will be good. Let me copy it, go back, click, enter, and paste. Now this image is pretty huge. Let's just make it a little smaller to fit with the other images. And let me just take the title and add the title as a basically caption. Click over here, add the title as a caption, the Pink Panther. Let's go and look for an image about the Pink Panther. I used to watch the Pink Panther when I was a child, right? Not the Pink Panther man, but this guy over here. But I'm pretty sure they're not talking about this one. I think they're talking about a movie, right? But let me just go and find the Pink Panther movie. I think this is the one. I don't know. I think this one is pretty it's not old. Maybe they're talking about this one here. So let me go and copy this image because this looks like a 1955 movie. So here, maybe it's a movie about a detective, but the Pink Panther that I know is the Pink Panther, the animal, right? Pink Panther, which is a cartoon that I used to watch. Now, I'm going to copy the Pink Panther title, scroll down, click, then go to captions, and I can add this caption over here. Now, I Love Lucy, so let me go and find images for I Love Lucy as well. So we're kind of adding, we can add videos, so I'm going to maybe look for a video as well. We can add that later on, but let me go and add an image about I Love Lucy. This is maybe a movie series or something because I can see it was run from 1951 to 1957, so it must be a movie, or it must be a series. So here, let me go and take this title, scroll down, click on the image, scale it, make it bigger, right, kind of like that. And let me just add a caption to it. Let me scroll down over here, The Honeymooners. That sounds like a good title. So let me go back over here and just search for The Honeymooners. The Honeymooners. And I think this one will look good, right? We don't want any funny business. Let me click here because most of the other images that we've added have people in them. So I think it's only good if we diversify a little bit and show an image with only shapes and no people. So I'm thinking of that. So here, let me scroll down. Let me click and scale this image a little bit. And let me add the caption to it. Scale it some more. And this is the last one, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. Let's copy that. Let me go back here and search for this, right? So I think this image will do well, right? Frankenstein. Pretty sure most of you have heard who Frankenstein is. So let me just scroll down, add the image of Frankenstein, and let me take the title of Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. And here, let me just take the image, click, add a caption, and let me scale the image to the exact size that I want. Now, you can see that the issue here is that the text is kind of, it's kind of cheap, right? So we don't really have big paragraphs. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to tell it to add more content about each movie. So I'm going to take Some Like It Hot. Right, Some Like It Hot. Come on. Okay, click. And I'm going to copy this. And what I want to do is very simply, I'm going to go back to Chatgpt and I will ask it, write a paragraph about, right. And it's going to go ahead and write a paragraph that I can take and stick to the text. So let me just wait for it. Because a tiny blog, which is this one here, is a tiny blog. It doesn't contain much text. A tiny blog doesn't really do well, right? So it's better off to have some really big paragraphs that people can read, right? So here, the 7-year itch. This time I'm going to ask it to write down 2 paragraphs instead of 1. The bigger your blog, the better. Write 2 paragraphs about this movie. Right, so it's going to go ahead. So I'm going to click select to make sure that I select everything. And so right now it's writing 2 paragraphs. This will make our blog quite consistent, quite big. So I can click, go back. And I can simply remove this content by clicking on it, remove, and paste my new content. And I'll do the same for the other one here. So Sing in the Rain. I'm going to go back. And I'm going to say do the same for. The beautiful thing about Chatgpt is that it's as if you're talking to yourself. It's quite intelligent, actually. It understands what you're talking about, your point of views. It's not perfect, but come on, it's more perfect than you writing the content by yourself. Because trust me, I'm a copywriter by trade, and I know firsthand how much time it takes to write content yourself. It's a laborious job. Many people hit on copywriters because they used to make a lot of money. But the issue is that most people are not willing to do half the work that a copywriter does because it's a boring job. You have to sit there by yourself most of the times and alone, writing stuff, getting inspiration. And you can risk getting a burnout. You know, it happened to me many times in my career. I got some really, really bad burnouts. And there are some times when I really didn't want to work anymore because of how brutal it is to write content and to think all the time, constantly thinking. But now with ChatGPT, you don't have to do that. You can live the happy life. You can live the American dream. So I'm going to go ahead and just add some more content here. This will make our blog bigger. You can see that our blog is getting somewhere here, getting a pretty decent looking blog. And this really will get the attention of people reading it. Trust me. Let me copy this text, come back, remove this. The honeymooners, we're going to do the same for the honeymooners. Let me scroll down. I'm going to say, do the same for this one. Let me wait for a second. And it's going to go ahead and write this down, right? So Jackie Gleason, right? Let's copy this. Let me go back. Right, let me just delete the text about the honeymooners and paste my own text. And I'm going to take this one right here. And now we're going to say, do the same for this one, all right? So it is writing down this over here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this, scroll down, and that's it. So we've finished with our blog. Now we can add an FAQ, which is pretty awesome. So I'm going to say, write an FAQ, but do not make it a numbered or bulleted list FAQ. So it's going to go ahead and write some FAQ. What makes comedy movies from the 1950s so special? Now you might be wondering, well, what is the purpose of an FAQ? Well, actually, an FAQ is pretty useful because people reading your article might be interested in certain questions, and so by thinking ahead of time and going and finding out what type of questions they might ask, and by particularly doing or putting those there, then you get more chance to keep those people engaged with your content to read more. Because remember, the most important thing is to keep people engaged and to keep them reading. So I'm going to copy this FAQ. Now, normally the frequently asked questions is named like this, frequently asked questions. And I can just click this and turn it into a heading. And it's usually heading number 6. So, and I'm going to copy my content now. So The questions are not clear because we need to make them a little bold and maybe italic. And so I'm going to go ahead and add bold and italic effects to all these questions. The answer is not so much. Bold and italic. And this one as well. Bold and italic. And if you can actually change the size of this, because I think this one is really small. So let's make it large. I think this is pretty better. I can even make it FAQ instead of frequently asked questions, because FAQ stands out more, and I can publish. So right now, this post was published. Still, I have some more to do here, so I can go and add some videos. Now, let me go back to this blog post and see what kind of videos they're using there. So I'm pretty sure that they are using a video. Now, they have a video, but this is an ad or something. But let me go to YouTube, because YouTube is a pretty good place to go to find some videos. Let me go and find, right, what was the title of our blog post first. So let's go best classic comedy movies in 1950s. And so what we're going to do here is I'm going to go back, I'm going to paste this, and let me go and find some videos on YouTube. Videos. Right, so here we have this YouTube video. We can take the link, just take the link, close this down, and come back here, and you can paste this right after the introduction, right? So I can place this here by clicking this plus icon, and I can choose video. They'll give me YouTube. I can click on YouTube, and I can paste my URL over here, click on embed. And so right now we have a video inside, which will make the blog post look better. But now we have to go ahead and optimize our blog post for SEO, right? So that's important that we do that. So I'm going to click on update. And what I want to do, I'm going to take the title here, copy, scroll down, add this as a caption for the video, because this video needs to be captioned. Click. And let's add this as a caption. Update. That's pretty cool. So right now we have all of this. I think it's pretty cool, right? So we have an entirely good looking blog post. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go and open a new dashboard in a new tab. And I want you to install this plugin known as Rankmath, which will help us improve or optimize the blog post for SEO. So go to plugins, click on add new, and let's search for Rankmath. So this plugin that we're searching for is called Rankmath. So just search for rank. If we don't find it, we might just as well add the keyword math in there and throw it there. But here, just with the keyword rank, you can see that we found it. Now there's two other plugins that you can also use. One is all-in-one SEO, and Yoast SEO is by far the one that is mostly used by pretty much a lot of people. It's installed by 5 million. But I prefer Rankmath because with the free version of Rankmath, it can enable you to connect your account with Google Search Console and Google Analytics. So I'm going to click on install this plugin, and let's go through the process of installing it. And I'll show you later how you can use this plugin to optimize your posts for SEO and to turn it from a 7 on a scale of 100 SEO article to maybe a 90 article, or 90 on 100 SEO optimized article. So right now the plugin is installing. And so we're just going to go and wait for a second here before we can activate it. Right, I'm going to click on activate now. And follow up very carefully with me, even though this doesn't really require much. But this is pretty interesting. So here, click on connect your account. It's for free, actually. Now choose your account, your Gmail account that you want to connect. Click on OK, activate now. Right here, scroll down and click on Start Wizard. And over here, you want to make sure that you put your website name here. Choose what your website is about. Now, our website is a personal blog. Now, here you can give your website a personal alternate name. And here, for the logo, we're going to choose our main logo. Now, we're going to go for the Retina logo because it's bigger. I'm going to go for this one. Let's see. Right, it looks pretty good. Now, you need to make sure that your logo is not dripping out of this zone or the safe zone. My logo is looking pretty well here. Now, if I scroll down, the default social share image is the image that they're going to show when someone shares your post on social media in case that post doesn't have a featured image. Now with this particular post, we didn't add a social image. We didn't add a featured image. Now for this post, let's say for example, if we don't add a featured image, what's going to happen is when people share this post on social media is that an image is going to be shared or is going to be displayed by default. And this image is the one that you put in here. So I'm going to go to Canva here. Let's go to Canva and let me create a new project. I'm going to use a size of 1200 by 630 pixels, which is not really so much. All right, so let me click here on create a design, custom size. Now 1200 by 630 pixels. Click on create a design here. And let's go and search for something that is relevant to movies, to the topic of movies, since our website is a movie-holic website. So here I'm going to click on elements. Let's go to search for movie or movies. And right here, you can see that we have some movies. Let's click on photos. And let me scroll down over here. Let's try to find something. So maybe we can go with this particular one. Set image as background and download this image. I'm going to download it as a PNG. And let me go back over here. And let's upload the image here. So this is a simple operation. Doesn't really need much. And so let's go to the downloads here. Let me go and find my image. So there it is. Should be here somewhere. Let me just wait. All right, so it's here. Click on open, and there you go. So right now what I can do is I can click use this file, but let's just wait for it to be downloaded first. Yep, so it's working actually, so let me just wait. All right, so the image was added. Let me click on use file, and so right now this is the image that's going to be used by default if a post doesn't have image. I'm going to click save and continue to move on. And right here, I'm going to click connect Google services to connect our website to Google Analytics and Search Console. Choose your Gmail account. Make sure that you click continue to verify your account. And over here, you want to select the website that you want to connect. So here, I'm going to select the website that we're working on. And scroll down over here. So click on select the property. Now, if you don't have an analytics property or a Google Analytics account, then you need to make sure that you create one and create a property. Now, in my case, I already have a property, so I'm going to select one. And here you can even select the property view. Now here, we have the option to select or to connect AdSense, but this is only available if you have the Pro version. So if you purchase this plugin, what it's going to do is if you want to connect or if you want to basically get approved for Google AdSense, you can get approved from here. You can basically send an AdSense or apply from AdSense from here directly without having to go to the website and apply from there. But that's only available if you have the Pro version, which is not necessary because I prefer that you go through the process that everyone goes through and apply for AdSense naturally. And please don't apply for AdSense if you don't have at least about 30 or 40 plus quality blogs. And if you don't at least have around 1,000 to 2,000 people visiting your website per month. Because, right, so I think this is it. So I'm going to click on save and continue. And even if you don't get approved for AdSense, by the way, there is Ezoic. So you can go and, or you can be an affiliate like I've shown you. You can disregard Google AdSense, be an affiliate, use banners, and these banners will point out to your affiliate links, like I showed you in the section about how to place ads on your website, and you make money either way. So it's not, Google AdSense is not the only way to make money from a website. That's what I'm trying to get across. So here, click on save and continue. And most of the times, AdSense is not the most perfect way to make money because they pay you so cheaply. And you can make a whole more money if you promote some profitable affiliate programs in your niche. So here, I'm just going to return to dashboard. There's no need for you to click on set up advanced options. Click on return to dashboard. And there's only one thing you're going to need to do, right, is enable the 404 monitor. And that's it. So right now, I think we can just close this window, go back over here. We're going to have to refresh this page because we need to show the rank math. Right, so now that I refresh, and after, of course, installing and setting up Rankmath, right now we're going to see the SEO score. So the SEO score for this blog is how much? Or it's 19 on a scale of 100. The question is, how can we make this better? Okay, so you can click here and it will take you over here. Now we don't have a focus keyword over here. So what is the focus keyword that we can use? So in my opinion, we can use the focus keyword classic comedy movies, because this will enable us to appear when people search for classic comedy movies. And notice what's going to happen. Once I add this, our SEO score jumped to 74, which is pretty awesome. Now I'm going to go to click on edit snippet, and the snippet, just like it shows over here, is what people are going to be able to preview on Google when searching for your website. So when people are searching for best classic comedy movies, if your website pops out, they're going to be able to see this. This is the snippet. They're going to see a URL, the title, and the excerpt, or the meta description. So I'm going to click edit snippet. Over here, I think this is pretty good because the permalink contains classic comedy movies. So I'm going to keep it as it is. And also, it doesn't exceed the limit, which is 75. And that's pretty cool. Now over here, we don't have a pretty good looking description over here. So, or meta description. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to Chatgpt and I'm going to ask it, can you write a meta description for classic comedy movies and make it no more than 160 words. Now, by the way, Chatgpt is not always going to respect what you say. So sometimes you might tell it to write something in 160 words and it's going to write it in more. So over here, just like it, actually, it's not 160 words, it's 160 characters. Now make it 160 characters. Right, so my bad there. So right now it's going to take that and it's going to turn it into 160 characters. I'm going to copy this. Let me make sure first that there is classic comedy movies, because remember that the focus keyword we use is classic comedy movies. So it's normal. It's only essential that we should show the focus keyword inside of the meta description. So if I post this, or if I paste this, right now I think we're doing well. So let me go back. Snippet. Now the snippet is not 160 words, it's 208. So I can just remove this. Right, so I think this is pretty good. So if I scroll down over here, you can see some improvements that we can improve. Now we have 1,771 words. So if it was less than 600 words, they would have told you here that you need to go and add more content. But I was more prepared for that. So my content is thorough, it's big, we don't really need to add more here. So it's pretty good. Now here, let's click on additional. Now they're saying that we should add an image with the focus keyword as an alt text. As it happens, we already have some images here. So I'm going to click on this image. And let me go over here to this. I'm going to add an alt text as best. Right, so best classic comedy movies. Right, so we have the image there. And it's with an alt text. You can see we improved to 76. Now I can do this for the rest of them. I can do this for this one as well. Give this as well the title, Best Classic Comedy Movies. And I can go on and on and on. But this won't really improve the SEO because they're only demanding that that should be done for one image. Right now, let me go to the wheel, click on the wheel, click on post, and let me go and add a featured image. So the featured image is the hero image that they're going to display outside of the article when people are looking. Now, because we already have some images in our media library, I'm just going to go ahead and maybe use this one. Set this one as featured image. Only, I forgot to add an alt text over here. So I'm going to add an alt text as best classic movies. Classic comedy movies. I want to integrate the keyword or the focus keyword there as well in the alt text. And normally this should improve the SEO. But anyways, let's click here. And let me scroll down to click on additional. Now here, we need to link out to external resources. That is why I'm going to open up a new dashboard. And I'm going to go and find a blog link. And I'm going to link back from here to that blog. Now, since this blog of ours is entirely or about movies, then this is just one niche. So our niche is the movie niche. So we won't find any issues here. So I'm going to go here to view this Game of Thrones blog. Now, it's not going to be relevant to link from our blog to a Game of Thrones blog because they're not related. But you can find a way to make them related. If you're talking in a paragraph and you're mentioning or you're talking about recent movies, then you could find a way to maybe link blogs between each others. But normally, don't ever link from a blog to another blog just for the sake of it. The blog or the link should make sense. It should not be a link, a robotic link, just for the sake of creating a link. So, but in this case, I'm going to make it robotic because this is just a display. I'm going to take the testament word, click on link. I'm going to go here and copy the link of this Game of Thrones blog. Come back over here and paste my link. Click on open in a new tab if it really does want to click. It doesn't want to click. There's a problem here, but anyways, I'm going to click this. And so right now I've added a link and you can see my SEO score has jumped. No outbound links were found, so we can add some outbound links. So I can take classic comedy movies and click on a link, and I can go out here. I can go to Google, and I can search for classic comedy. Let me go, for example, find a Wikipedia link or something, and just take that and basically just link out. So maybe let's use this movie web blog. I'm going to copy this and I can come back over here. I can paste my link and add. So right now the SEO score is going to jump to 87. You can see that's pretty good. Now the readability is pretty awesome. So I'm going to click here, scroll down. Now we don't have a table of contents. So let's go ahead and add a table of contents. How do we do that? It's actually very simple. I'm going to click on the plus button over here. Right. Let me click on the plus button and let me go and search for table of contents by Rankmath. And so right now we have a table of contents added. Only it's not really showing. So let me just click back here. Let me search again, table of contents. And there you go. We have a table of contents. I can change its position by dragging it, moving it up some more. I want it to be above the introduction. And I can even change the text here of the table of contents by going in here. Now the text color here is set for that. Let me change it to maybe blue. Well, go back. Let me click on my table of contents to make sure it is selected. Normally here, I should be able to control the text. But anyways, I think if you just keep it like this, it's going to look fine. Let's try to change the background. I'm going to look for a slightly white blue background. So let me just reduce this. And now we have our table of contents. And what I can do, I can click on this table of contents here. And I can turn it into a reusable block. And I can name this block TOC so that I can use the same table of content template for the rest of the articles. Now, our article is 91 on a scale of 100, just as promised. I can keep improving this article by looking at what more I can improve. Now here they're asking me to use Content AI to improve it, which I'm not going to do. Now, if you want to check for plagiarism, I have a handy tool that you can use, which is called Grammarly. You can also use Copyscape, right? So Copyscape is also a good website that you can use, but I prefer Grammarly. And what Grammarly enables you to do is to check your article against copyright. And as a matter of fact, let me take you through an experiment to do that. So I'm going to take this first iteration of the blog that was created by Chatgpt, and I'm going to check it against plagiarism using Grammarly. All right, let me go over here. I'm going to copy this. Let me go back here to Grammarly. I'm going to click a new window. Now I have a premium account. That's why I can use the Grammarly, basically the plagiarism Grammarly checker. Now under the free version, you can't use that. That's why you can use websites such as Copyscape, but still you'd have to pay for credits, which I don't recommend you to do. Grammarly is pretty good because I pay for a yearly membership of around, I think, $120. And if you divide that by a month, that's not more than 12 bucks. So that's pretty awesome. So over here, I can choose my goals for this blog. Now I want to make this blog post as a story with the intent of telling a story. My audience is general. The formality, I want to keep it neutral. And here, I want to keep this, all right, creative, and click on done. So right now it is giving me some suggestions, 17 suggestions to be precise, to improve on the text quality. Now, this one here, I can just accept what they say or not accept. So they're just giving me some propositions here, and sometimes some words are wrong and sometimes they're not wrong. So for example here, Jack Lemon is a name, it's not a lemon. But here, they're considering this to be a name. So, or they thought or they think that this is about a lemon and that we made a mistake. And so what I can do, I can just dismiss because this is not a mistake. And yeah, so you just have to make sure that you read before you accept anything here, right? Now, sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right, but most of the times they're right. And sometimes they're wrong. So you need to pay careful attention for that. Don't just blindly accept whatever they're doing. So here is the plagiarism checker. I can click on plagiarism check. And right now it's going to tell me if there is a percentage of plagiarism on this blog post and how much is the percentage. Let me click again. Click here, checking, right? So let me just wait for a second here. And here it has deducted that my blog post is only 6% plagiarized, which is fairly good. But let's say that you want to make it 0% plagiarized. Now here, Grammarly has a handy trick, and it shows you exactly which texts or which paragraphs are plagiarized. And these are the ones that are shown in green. So for example, if I want to make this one not plagiarized, I could maybe change this. Instead of trip, I can change it to voyage. And right now I have removed 2% of plagiarism. I can click this other suggestion. It tells the story of a man, right? So it depicts the story, right? Something like this. And right now we have 3%. I can click this other suggestion. Singing in the Rain is a musical comedy movie. Right, I think we can't really change this because that would be off. And I'm going to change this one here. Made it hit with audiences, made it stick with audiences. And I think right now our text is 100% original. No plagiarism, and that's how you check your text against plagiarism. You can also check it against readability here. You can see how much time it's going to take for people to read this. Here, the speaking time is 4 minutes. Reading time is only 2 minutes. Relatively short blog. You can see how many words are in here, how many sentences, how many characters. You can also have an opinion of the readability score. Here it's 64. Normally, it should be above 80 because that makes it easily readable. And usually readability is related to how big the paragraphs are. The bigger the paragraphs, the harder the readability because people are going to be bored out of their minds. And most of the times people don't really like extensive blogs with a lot of text cramped up in them. Now over here, I think we can update this all too well. I think we've done a pretty good job optimizing this post for SEO. There's not really much we really need to do. And right now, let me go and take you to preview this because it's essential that we preview how this looks like on our website. Right, so if we preview this, let me just have a quick preview. And I think this is going to look pretty awesome. So here is how it's going to look like. That's the featured image at the top. You can see some ads, the table of contents. Now, usually the table of contents is pretty useful because it enables people to go down to places. For example, let's say that they want to go down to I Love Lucy. They can click and it will take them to this part about I Love Lucy. And they can scroll up. And you can see that the blog is pretty awesome, right? With some ads inside, FAQ. It's pretty good, right? But we're not done yet here because there is some more stuff that you need to see about the Gutenberg editor when using the Jnews theme. So let's go ahead and explore more stuff about this. Now, here's what you gotta know over here. Now, when it comes to the Jnews social meta items or social meta elements, this is in case you want to display a different title, description, and image for Facebook or for Twitter, because you can just do that. Now, in our case, the featured image that we have used is this one right here, this one of Frankenstein. Now, if you want to display a different image when people are sharing your post on Facebook, you can do this through this section over here. You can also display a different description or a different Facebook title. Now, the title here is this one. Best classic comedy movies in the 1950s, but you can display a different one if you want to. Now, let me just scroll down over here. You can do the same for Twitter, by the way. You can click on Twitter, do the same. Now, right here, you can enable reviews. And a review is, if I take you over here, let me just click on a specific blog here. And on this blog, right? We have a review, right? This is the average score. We have, design, a review according to design, performance, camera, battery. Now, how do you add this review? How do you review a movie or a series? How do you add this? Well, you just click on enable and you select the review type, whether that be point, star, or percentage. I prefer it to be percentage. And you can review the product name. So for example, I can go to Chatgpt and I can ask it, write a review on the best classic comedy movies of the 1950s. Now notice that over here, if we go and check the website right here, if I go back, let me go back to my blog post. Right here, we have no review. But now that we have enabled it, we can create one. And if we refresh after publishing, we will be able to see the review. So let's go and create this review. So this review, we're going to name it Best Classic Comedy Movies. Now here we can add a review summary, but I'm more interested in adding the review's pros and cons. Here, let's go. Go down. Now I want you to create a pros and cons review list for the 1950s classic movies. I was going to write it. So here, there are the pros. I can copy the pros. I can go over here. I can add this. Right, so here, what's good about this movie? Or what's good about the 1915 movies? There's the pro, and I can go add a con. Right, I'm going to go back. And I can do this even more. I can add another pro by just going in there. Come back here. Add the pro over here. And I can go over here back again, and I can select a con. Copy. Scroll down. Click on plus. And add. So right now, we've added this. Now I can add some ratings. Now let me click on review ratings here. And you can either override score or add rating text. So over here, I wanted to add rating text. I said I want you to add rating text with score from 0 to 10. It's going to go ahead and add some reviews. Unforgettable performances by legendary actors like Marilyn Monroe, Gene Kelly. Right, so here, I'm going to take this review, come back, rating text. I'm going to give it a 9. I can change it from here directly by simply typing the number I want, clicking out. I can go back and take a con, right? So now this is a con. Well, I can take this one right here, add plus, add the second review. This one is an 8 on a scale of 10. And that's it. So here, if your product has a price, in this case, this is just a review of movies, so it doesn't have a price. But let's say that, for example, you've created a blog that discusses the best places or the best websites in which people can go and watch movies. Then obviously here, you're trying to create a review in comparison between Netflix, Hulu, OSN, all these movie websites. And so you can come in here and add different product prices, price for CN, maybe price for Netflix. And you can say here, for example, Netflix. And if you're affiliated to any sort of website, you can add your link over here, which is the shop link. And most importantly, you can add a logo, right? But I'm not going to do that here. I'm just going to click on update. And I'm interested to go back over here to see how these changes are going to propagate here. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to simply refresh my page, and you can see over here that we have a score. Average score, unforgettable performances by legendary actors like Marilyn Monroe, Gene Kelly, 90%. Pros, unforgettable performances by... All right, so you can see that we've added our review. And let me just scroll down to see some more. You can see that the review is even there, and here we've quite given a score. So this is a pretty fully good functional blog. People can read this. There's links. It's pretty good. They can click on and share this on Facebook. So they can do a whole host of stuff. And besides, it's perfectly optimized for SEO, right? So that's the good news. So let me go back over here to this. Now, right now, I'm more interested to add a section where we can collect email addresses. So I'm pretty sure you're also interested in that. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and add this section to collect email addresses. It's not going to be difficult. It's very simple. So close this window up, go back to the dashboard, and let me show you how you can add a Mailchimp subscription form to collect people's email addresses and have them directly on your Mailchimp account. Now notice that the blog posts that we have imported from the demo websites are mostly not optimized for SEO at all, but ours, the one that we've created together, is 91 on a scale of 100. Okie dokie, so to connect your website with Mailchimp is pretty easy. Don't be intimidated by it. So scroll down over here, you can see this MC4WP. This is not a rapper's name, this is Mailchimp. So here you need to click on it, and let me go and take you to connect this Mailchimp account of yours to the WordPress website. Now here, they're demanding of us to add an API key, no problem. Let's go to Google here. Let's close this Grammarly window, search for Google, and then search for Mailchimp, okay? Search for Mailchimp. Then you need to log into your Mailchimp account. If you have one, if you don't have one, then this is the opportunity for you to go ahead and create a Mailchimp account. Now click on log in over here, and that's that. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add my username and password and log in. Now, right here, what they're gonna ask me to do is to, add some security stuff. I'm just gonna click I'll do later because I'm lazy at heck in this moment. And so I'm gonna scroll down over here and click on this. Click, then click on profile. The operation is very easy actually. And click on extras, click on API keys. Then what you want to do is simply scroll down to the bottom. Now I already have an API key, or I've created a lot of API key. Most of them I've revoked. But here, I'm going to revoke this one because I want to show you how to create an API key from scratch. So how do you create an API key from scratch? Well, very simple. Scroll down. You can see this button over here that says create new API key. Now give the API key your name, movie API key, for instance, and click on generate key. Copy the key to clipboard, come back to your website, paste it in here, click on save changes, and in a couple of seconds, your website is going to be connected with Mailchimp. Now we are connected to Mailchimp, but this is not everything. So I'm going to click here on appearance. I'm going to go to widgets, and we want to add the Mailchimp subscription form to the widgets. Let me first go and check the default sidebar. Click on default sidebar over here. And if I click there, right, let me see what exists. So here we don't have a Mailchimp sign up form. I'm going to scroll down, click on Mailchimp, click on form, and let us create a new form. We're going to name this form subscribe. We're going to name it subscribe. Click add a new form. Now this is going to take us where we can preview how the form will look like in real life. So if I scroll down, this is the form shortcode, by the way. And if I scroll down over here, you can see the form preview. This is how it's going to look like. This is the form code. Now you can manipulate this code. You can add more code. You can change this. But I'm just going to keep it as it is. I'm going to click on save changes. And what I want to do here, I want to go to appearance, click on widgets, and then here, scroll down to the bottom, search for Mailchimp sign up form, drag it from the scruff of the neck like you are dragging something. So drag this to the top. Make sure that you keep it selected. Come in here and paste it. Now we have our Mailchimp sign up form. I'm going to name it sign up to our newsletter. Click on save. I'm going to go ahead and open up the website in a new tab, and let me show you how this is going to look like. Pretty awesome. So if I scroll down over here, well, let me scroll down to the bottom. Normally this should appear. Right, so there it is. Email sign up form. The reason why it appeared under follow our social is because I've added it under the social counter. Now I can change the position of it. I can place it down at the bottom here. And right now, if I go and refresh the page, the position of the sign up form will change, okay? You can see that the title is sign up to our newsletter, which is exactly what we wanted. Now, if I scroll down to the bottom over here, you can see that we have sign up to our newsletter over here, and people can come in, they can sign up very easily, just like that. Now, this page, let me see if we have a contact page. Now we don't, because when I click on the contact page, it doesn't direct me anywhere. So we're going to have to go and create a contact page before we wrap up with this course over here. An interesting thing about Rankmath Plugin is that it shows you your SEO score for pages and for posts similarly. So over here it is showing us the SEO optimization for this particular page. You can see that it's not optimized for SEO, so you need to go ahead and optimize it. But first of all, before we move on to creating the contact page, I need you to click on edit this page because I want to see if the page loop is enabled. And basically what the page loop is it plays the page in a loop, kind of like an infinite loop, to make the page sound bigger than it is. So if I scroll down here, I can see that the page loop is already enabled, which is pretty good. You can disable it, and if you do, this will make your website much smaller. But I'm going to enable it, click on publish, and there we go. So right now, let me go ahead and show you how you can use Elementor to basically create a contact page. So go in, click on visit website, open it up in a new tab. Then, very simply, you need to click on edit with Elementor right at the top. You can see this edit with Elementor thing. Click on it. And then after that, it's very simple. So edit with Elementor. Now it's going to take us to Elementor, and let me show you how you can add the contact page using the Elementor Page Builder plugin. Go and create the contact page. But first of all, I'm going to go to the WordPress dashboard. I'm going to go and create a new page. So I'm going to go and add a new page. I'm going to name this page Contact Us page. Right, so let me just go here, contact. Now click on publish, publish again, and click on edit with Elementor. Let's close this window down, keep this up. Now publishing, and in a second, I'm going to go ahead and click edit this with Elementor. Right now we have clicked on edit this with Elementor, pretty awesome. And let us go and basically just edit this page using Elementor, right? It's going to be fun, trust me. Right. So here we are. Right. Let me just show you a handy trick. For those of you who don't like the light Elementor view, you can make the screen darker if your eyes are so sensitive. So you can click here on this, go to user preferences, and let's change this to dark instead of light. Now I can go back by clicking here, and here on Elementor you can use the Jnews elements, which are Jnews blocks, modules. So you have a lot of modules here that you can use. For example, if I take this, drag and drop it here, look at what's going to display. Right? It's going to display an entire module based on what blog posts I do have on the website. So that's pretty fun, isn't it? So you can play around with those modules and blocks of Jnews, and since you have purchased the theme, then you can use all of these for free. A lot of blocks, Jnews. Let me search for Jnews. So you have a lot of choices here, plenty of them. Now, for instance, let's say that you want to add an Elementor block. Click on the X button or click on this. And then you can see here that you have multiple elements. These are the basic elements that you can use for free. And there are pro elements that require from you to sign up through the Elementor Pro plugin. Now, let's use the free ones, for example. Let's say you want to add a heading. You can add a heading, drag and drop it. Right now, a new section will be created with a heading. But let's say that you want to add a heading in this section that was already created. I can take it, drag and drop it here. There you go, I have a heading. Let's say that you want to add an image above the heading. I can click, and this is an image above the heading. And you can go find an image on your media library and put an image there. So for example, let's say you want to add this image. There you go, you have your image. You can size this up, make it smaller, make it bigger, and so on and so forth. So I can delete this entire section if I want. Now the entire elements are going to be deleted. I can create a new section. I can control how many columns I want to show per section. I can control the structure or the layout of a section to show things in a way that I want. So for example, let's say I create this. And I can just go here. And the middle column has the most size. I can take a video, place it here in the middle one. And on the other ones here, I can place text, for example, right? And you can basically copy this and paste it right here. Not paste style, actually. I'm going to paste the element. And you can actually duplicate this element like this. Right now, it's going to add another text. I can duplicate it, this one here as well. I can duplicate it as much as I like. Right? So it's pretty good. And Elementor, the free version, is not done yet because you have general elements. So you can add some general elements. Let's say, for example, that you want to add a testimonial or a counter or a basic gallery. You can do this just by simply dragging and dropping this. Now, let's say, for example, that on this particular column, you want to add a sidebar. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these elements over here. I'm going to keep the column, by the way. But let me scroll down here or just search for sidebar. And I can add a sidebar over here, right? I can choose the sidebar. Let me choose default sidebar. And you can see that now a sidebar is going to be displayed, right? Even though it sucks, but you can add a sidebar, right? Now, if I remove this column, it's going to make it look a little bit better. If I delete the column, it's going to add more space for it to breathe, and we can see the sidebar pretty better, in a better fashion. And I can actually reduce the sidebar to whatever I want. So in fact, I'm actually going to keep this layout just like it is, if I want, or I can delete everything. But since this is not a tutorial about Elementor, I just shown you some of the stuff that you can do with Elementor. We want to create a contact page. So what do? I'm going to click here on this box, or add template. And I'm going to go to page templates because I don't want to build the page from scratch. I want to use a ready-to-go template. And here I'm going to search for something about contact. Now let's search for contact here. We have this wireframe, this one. Now the ones with the pro tag on them cannot be used under the free version of Elementor. So you'd have to have the pro version to use them. But I'm perfectly fine with these free ones. So I'm going to go, for example, with this one. I'm going to click on it. And here you can click Insert. Click on Get Started. Connect your Elementor account with your WordPress website. It's very easy. Just click on Connect. And over here, you can click on Apply. Right? So click on Apply. And that will be applied. All right, so now instead of building a page on our own, we have imported a ready-to-go one. Now you can see that this doesn't have a contact form, but instead it has an image, it has a phone number, it has our services. So you can basically change this to whatever you want. You can add images even here. So let's say, for example, here I want to add my logo. I can click on this. I can change it instead of that image to my own logo. I'm going to click the retina logo here. I'll add my logo. And for example, here I can add another image. I can go find an image that has something to do with movies. Let's go, for example, here and look for maybe this one. And you can change this. So you can make this, for example, lower the size. Instead of this size, we can maybe make it 50 to kind of bring the elements in line. You can change this text over here. And you can use Chatgpt to write the content for you. Now I'm going to remove these service sections. I'm going to keep this one, and here I'm going to use the logo of my website. Right, this one here. And I'm interested in adding a contact us section. So I'm going to click the plus button over here. I'm going to make it this one. And I'm going to take it like this and put it here in the middle. Then I want you to go and click on this preview button over here. Click again. It will open up a new tab. We can go to the dashboard from that tab that's going to open. And I want you to go ahead and install a plugin called Contact Form 7 by Takuyaku Miyoshi or something like that. And so here I'm going to go to the dashboard. Let me install this plugin. Now what this plugin will enable us to do is to add a contact form for free. So I'm going to go to Plugins, click on Add New, and let us search for Contact Form 7. There are other plugins that you can find like WP Forms, but I'm going to use contact form 7. I'm going to search for it. And right here, I'll find it. In fact, I have found it. Takayuki Miyoshi. Let's click on install. It's already installed by 5+ million people. You can see that the other one here, its rival WP Forms, is also used by so many people. And so you can install either one. It's your choice. I'm just going to go with contact form 7. I'm going to install it right now in a matter of seconds. Click on activate. And there you go. So right now that we've done this, let me go ahead and let me go back to the dashboard. I don't know why every time I install a plugin, they take me here, but I can go to the list of installed plugins. I can go to click installed plugins over here, and we can create a new contact form. So contact form 7, click on settings. Let's go ahead and create a very basic contact form, or just take the short code of this form that's already created, right? This one here will do the job. I can go back to Elementor over here. I want you to click these 9 dots and search for short code. Then drag and drop the short code, paste it here, and then paste your short code inside. And right now, this is going to create a contact form for us. You can see that we have added the contact form. Now you can manipulate the contact form by clicking on edit from here. And let's say, for example, that you want to stretch the subject to this. You want to stretch everything. Now here, let me just go and see if we can do this. Now, texture name, right, label, right, additional set. Let's click on additional settings over here. Messages, mail. The problem with these free plugins is that they don't really give you so much customization effect. But let's try to create a new one by clicking add new. Let's try to customize one. Now we've added one, but the problem is that it's not really email your autocomplete. Well, I think we can't really do much, but let's click on editing form template from here. Now they've taken us to the website, and right, so you can go and check this stuff out. I'm just gonna update. Let's just do with what we've got. And besides, this is for free. And I still need to add a title here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this one. I'm going to take it and drag and drop it, put it here. And instead of saying our services, I'm going to say contact us. Update. And so right now we have our contact us page. Pretty decent. No need to make it any more. And right here, instead of 2022, all rights reserved, I need to make it 2023 because we are in 2023, not 2020 something else. Right. Right. So I think this is pretty cool. Right now, let's go ahead and create the privacy policy page. But first of all, let me click here to go back to the dashboard. Let's exit to the dashboard. Let's just apply. Well, I think we have saved the changes, so let's just quit. And let me go and add a new page. And as far as the content is concerned for the privacy policy page, let me close this window. You can go back to Chatgpt, open up a new chat, and say, hi, I have a blog movie or blog website about movies and want you to create the privacy policy page. And what it's going to do, it's going to go ahead and write down the privacy policy for you, the content for it. And so all I have to do right now is to go and add a new page by going here. Let us create a new page. We'll name it privacy policy, and you can put those on the footer or on the header. So I'm going to go over here to add new, click on add new. Let's name our page privacy policy. Now there's a dummy page that we need to remove there. But let's just add the privacy policy. Click privacy policy and click on publish here. Publish again. Then click on edit with Elementor. Now with the privacy policy, we're not going to do so much editing with it because we're just gonna copy and paste the content. That's all. So it's a bland page. Doesn't require any creativity, or because I mean, who is gonna go to that page and basically just keep looking except for if you're a marketplace and they're selling on your marketplace and don't want to be expelled from that marketplace. So here, I just copied the content from Chatgpt, the content of the privacy policy page, and I can come back here and paste this. Now, the usefulness of the privacy policy page is that it helps you protect yourself in case there's something unlawful or something bad going. So I'm just going to add a new section here. And inside of that section, I'm going to go and fetch a paragraph instead of a heading, put the paragraph here, and simply I'm going to remove this paragraph and add my own paragraph. So right now we have a privacy policy page. Update. And this is it. Now for the cookies, we need to add a cookie plugin to the website. So let's go ahead right now and add a cookie plugin to enable cookies on our website, right? So that people can accept or not. All right, so let me go over here, go back to the dashboard. And by the way, this is going to be the last thing we're going to do. Now, there's going to be a bonus section in this course, which is going to show you or give you some basic tips on how to speed up your website, because blogs of this nature usually are going to be slow or are going to get slower the more content you add. And so you need to understand that it's a fact that you need to optimize your blog post for speed or your website for speed. And I'll show you some tips and tricks on how to do that. Now here, I'm going to go to plugins. Let us add the cookie policy plugin by clicking on add new. Just add the cookie policy plugin and we're just going to install it. That's it. So here, I'm going to search for cookie. And let's go here. This is the one. Click on install. There's a lot of ones, but I'm just going to use this one because this one is pretty good. I've been using it for a long time now, and I think it's pretty cool. Now here, let's activate it. And what this will do is it will enable a cookie on our website, and people can either accept it or not. So here, I'm going to click on activate. And if I go and open the link in a new tab, let's see the look. So normally this website here, it has a cookie policy right here. And so we're going to have one same as this. So if I go here, let me go and visit the website. So now watch this. Watch this in a second. Right, so let me just, right. Okay, so you can see the cookie policy there. People can click, they can accept or not, and that's it. So let me go ahead. Now I don't really like these images over here, so I can click edit with Elementor, but right, if I do that, I'm gonna have to delete this entire section. Well, anyways, let's go ahead and do it. Let me click on edit with Elementor. So like this. And unfortunately, I think we can't edit the image directly, but we need to remove that section and create a new one from scratch in order to do what we want to do. So I'll just show you that in a second. Right, so here, if I click this, and if I go to style, I can't see the image. So I'm going to click on this element. This is a Jnews slider 2. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete this entire section. And I'm going to click the plus button over here, add a new section. I'm going to drag it to the top. Well, if it doesn't want to drag like this, I'm going to open up the navigator, clicking here. I'm going to click on the navigator, and then I'm going to take my section like this, and I'm going to drag and drop it at the top. Because I want to make sure that this section doesn't enter into a conflict with the other section. The section is quite empty, it doesn't have anything. So I'm going to go, and remember, I need to find the slider, search for slider, Jnews slider 2, and so I'm going to drag and drop this, place it. So right now we have the slider. It's going to display in a second, just like it was. Now I can choose a different format over here. So WordPress format. Right, let's choose a different format. And And over here, style, let's click on style. Let's go back. Enable autoplay. So let's enable autoplay. And what I want to do this time is I'm going to click on my section. And I want to go to advanced. I want to add a top margin of 50. And I want to go to style and add the featured image. Now the featured image, I'm going to go to Google and search for something. So let me go create a new design. And I'm going to search for something that has to do with the topic of movies. So let me go ahead. Let's search for something regarding movies and the topic of movies. Go to elements. Let's search for movies and go to photos. I can even add a video if I want to, but I'm just going to add a image. I like this one here. I'm going to set this as a background, and I'm going to go download this right here, go back, and then I'm going to come in here, click on the background, change the image, upload, and then I can select the file from my computer, and that's it. Let us select this, click here, and select. So that is that. I think this is pretty awesome. So I'm going to click here. Image is still loading because the image is quite big. And so I think this is done now, and I can insert it. Now we're not done yet because I need to click here, position, center, center, attachment, make it default, repeat, no repeat, display size, I want it to cover. And I'm going to add some background overlay. I'm going to go to background overlay over here, background type, click, add more opacity, make sure that the color is black. And I'm going to click on my element here because I see that we didn't quite add a good distance. So I'm going to click on my element, go here to unlink values, and here I'm going to click on add a margin of 50. I kind of like this like this. So this is pretty cool. Now the Z index, I'm going to make it 1 because I want to show this to the front. And I can even do some more stuff like going to advanced. I can go to background here. I can add some background stuff. I can add a border if I want to. Maybe a border radius of 20. Right. Well, this is the column, right? So let me just go out. Let me click update. So yeah, I think this is pretty cool. Now you can do the same thing I've done here for this, the bottom one, because this one as well has this image that has nothing to do with movies. But you have to make sure that when you delete the section, that you add this exact same element, which is the Jnews video playlist, right? So I'm just going to leave it like that. And let's go ahead and let me show you how you can speed up your website using the most recent speed up or website speed up tactics. All right, so let me show you the tricks that you can use to speed up a website. First thing that you want to do is you want to install a caching plugin. How do you find those? Go to plugins, click on add new, and then search for the term cache. Now, the one that I like to use is WP Fastest Cache. There is a paid plugin known as WP Rocket, and this one is actually paid for a reason because it automatically speeds up your website by doing everything that I'm going to explain here without you having to do it. It's the #1 caching plugin in the world. It comes with a price, but if you install it, it actually will take care of speeding up your website for you without having to do anything yourself. Now you can access the link to it down in the resources or in the description of this course, and you can go and purchase it from there. But for this course, if you don't want to buy a plugin, I highly recommend you to use WP Fastest Cache or W3 Total Cache or Lightspeed Cache or WP Super Cache. They're all as good. I just happen to prefer WP Fastest Cache because I've seen better results with it. And so I'm going to click WP Fastest Cache over here. And let me show you what we can do. Right, so I'm going to click it. Then, of course, activate it. Now, this plugin is good because you can use it to clear the cache. And it will help big time speed up your website. You can also use it to minify CSS and HTML and also to shrink images. But for images, I have another trick, which I'm going to show you later. So over here, every time you want to delete cache, you can come in here at the top and click on clear cache. And this will clear the cache on your website, making it faster. And if you scroll down, you can access the settings of the WP Fastest Cache from here by simply clicking on settings. You can come in here and you can enable a caching system. You can create the cache of the site automatically. Now, you can do a bunch of stuff. You can minify CSS, minify HTML, even though I highly recommend you not to touch this other stuff because this might really make your website slow. Not slow, but might really make or get you in trouble with the code of the website. You can optimize images from here, but this is only available for premium. That's why I can recommend you to use this website known as Tiny PNG. Now, this website is very good because it's for free, and you can come in here, you can upload your image, and you can minify the size of that image, making it shorter in size or lesser in size. So this one here is an untitled image with a size of 1.2 megabytes. And right now, after optimization, we cut off 74% of the image or the original image size. And so this time, the image is only 305 kilobytes. So make it a habit before using any image on your website. Make sure that you minify that image using Tiny PNG or any website similar to it before uploading it to the website. Because if you upload the bigger size image, the bigger the size of your website gets. And the bigger the size of your website gets, the slower it will get. Also, I have another recommendation, which is for media, don't ever use or don't ever upload large videos on your media library, and instead only add links, external links to YouTube, to Dailymotion, to websites where those videos are hosted, because at that point, you don't carry the size of those videos because those videos are hosted outside of your blog or your website, which will make your website considerably lower in size and considerably faster. Also, when it comes to images, only keep the images that you are using. If there are images that you're not using, for example, such as this Jnews image, which I don't really need. This is a Jnews, logo that came pre-installed with the demo website. And since we have our own logo, I don't see why I should keep this image here. So that is why I should just go ahead and delete all of these images that I don't need, because they're just taking space on my website, making my website slower. And so that's another trick. Another thing you could do is to go and delete the pages that are no longer useful, that you don't really need. You can delete the posts that you no longer need. You can also scroll down here to appearance, go to themes, and make sure that you only keep the theme that you are currently using. Now, right now we're running on the theme Jnews, which means that we are using Jnews now, and it's the active theme. So any theme other than Jnews is just a waste of time, even though it's inactive, but it's still taking space. Like for example here, 2023 is inactive, but it's installed, right? So I'm gonna have to click it and delete it. And this will particularly make my website a little bit faster. Now, if I scroll down, plugins also can slow down your website, and the more plugins you have, the slower your website is gonna get. That's why I recommend you to only keep the plugins that you are using. And so delete all the plugins that you don't use. So for example here, let me see if we have some plugins that we don't use. Now, fortunately here, we're using all of them, all 15. So all 15 of these plugins are currently being used. So there is no reason for us to delete any one of them. But in case, for example, you don't need the plugin or you're not using it, just go ahead and delete it. And this is how you optimize your website for speed. I hope this was a clear tutorial on it. And so I thank you very much for visiting or for particularly paying attention through this free course. I hope that you've derived as much pleasure or as much knowledge from it. And this is the final package. Let's go ahead right now and have a look at our website and how it looks on search engines. I'm pretty sure we've done a pretty good job up until now. And so let me go ahead and load the website on a new navigation bar. And you can see over here that this is pretty cool, isn't it? So this is the website, looks pretty good, right? We have some blogs. We have a hero blog here. We have ads all over the place. Pretty good. People can click, for example, and go from this banner ad to your affiliate link. If they purchase, you make money. They can visit your blog by clicking on a blog, and they can go there. For example, this one here, Best Classic Comedy Movies. They click on it, they'll get inside, they can read it. They can like your Facebook page, your Instagram page, your YouTube channel if you have one. They can subscribe from here, or even they can go down and subscribe from your form that you have added using Mailchimp. And so it's really, really interesting website here. Very good. I think overall, this is pretty fantastic. I don't know what you think. And if you want me to go ahead and create something new please go ahead and tell me. I'd be highly, it would be my highest pleasure to go ahead and just create something for you. And please just tell me what you want me to create next. I thank you so much for being patient up until now. Go ahead and learn more. And the most important thing is to take action and to apply. Go ahead, get your first domain, get your first hosting, and practice this stuff instead of just watching, because watching is good for a period, but after a certain time, you need to go ahead and start taking some action if you really want to make some money. So thank you very much.